Also, whatever CJ's eating, I want that. That looks good. What is it?
Like a pastry?
Yeah.
It's like toast.
It's just grilled cheese.
What? That's grilled cheese?
With cheese
What's
on
the rest
toast.
of it on it?
Oh,
Sauce and sweet chili sauce.
not like
and-
actual grilled cheese. That's fair.
Yeah.
You can tell it's my internet because my camera's the only one that's pixely.
CJ and Chrome are flipped? No, they're not.
Mm-hmm.
CJ's always
Yeah,
top left.
I'm
for me.
usually top
Oh,
right.
it's supposed to be Chrome top left, CJ top right.
All right. Well,
don't
you
think it
guys,
matters.
I'm just gonna do some production magic in a bit. So, first thing on the docket, because we're already running behind, Dallas got canceled. Discuss.
It sucks,
Okay.
man.
Look.
I'm looking.
It's not a look. It obviously sucks, but I think they made a pretty professional decision, and they made it early. So, you can't complain too much when it's people's health and lively. I don't know, just health, I guess, in the balance. So obviously, it really sucked. They could have They could do this thing of postponing it, but like then it's like, how long do you wait? If it's not contained, or I think like the smart decision is, and probably the best decision is just cancel it for this season.
Yeah, but the feeling I got when I saw that posted. Oh, I guess we're the brawl. Never mind, sorry.
Dude, I got a default stinger transition. I'm sorry.
The feeling that I had when I saw that article when it came out, it was rough, man. It's like the whole point, at least in my head, for league play is to figure out who's going to Worlds and who has the chance to prove that they're the best in the world. And if league play doesn't lead to like a pinnacle event, like what's the point of league play?
Yeah, I can agree with that.
My thing is too is I'd rather have it happen now than next year, because like there's no events anyways for this year. So, oh well, we'll suck it up. Not a big deal. Hopefully towards the later half of the year, there's more things coming. Not else you could do about it. I mean, like they're even like shutting down schools and like other events and stuff like that, and probably gonna be airports here soon. So, I guess it's a really big deal. So you can't really fault them for making that early.
Yeah, someone else like, do we care about regionals? That's like just another thing. It's just the general vibe is sort of pretty flat amongst the scene. Like obviously everyone still wants to win, but you're just playing for money, and there's no whole top 6 finals like placements. You get an extra chance, but it's just to make more money. Like the only thing that's gonna matter is like the grand finals of because you want to win, you want to be regional champs. Apart from that, if a team makes top 6, has a bad day, they'll be like, oh. Like, it's not like there's anything on the line. They're already, that it's not that much money. And it's only 250K of the
Just don't worry about it.
500,000
We fixed it.
potentially made to go to Worlds. Hey, I'm on the other side. So, it's still only half the Worlds prize pool. So that's another thing entirely of what they're going to do in terms of the online tournaments, the online regional tournaments. I know, Jahzo, you had something to say about that in terms of having an open tournament with the Worlds money as opposed to keeping it closed off to league play teams.
Because I think in the announcement, like they were talking about doing extra events in the meantime, like online events, so that the other 250,000 that they're not putting towards regionals, it's kind of odd if they're gonna have that money be available to teams that wouldn't have had a chance to get it previously. Like the 500,000 that was going to be for Worlds was only available to the 12 teams that qualified for Worlds. But then if they take half that money, send it to regionals for the top 4 who would have gone to Worlds, but the other half they don't make available to just the people that would have made it to Worlds, it's kind of scuffed. Like a lot of people say, like, oh, it's just more money for like the lower team to show off and maybe upset and have somewhere to start showing that they're good. But I don't know. It's just kind of scuffed if you're taking that money from being just for a few teams to being to any team.
I just think it kind of stinks too, because like everybody's kind of getting the short end. I know for OC and Sam region, a lot of them look forward to going to LAN because it is a massive jump in prize pool. Like just even attending is a massive pay jump that they look forward to. And yeah, you get some of that, but it's just not nearly as much. Like a top 6 performance is just such a huge paycheck. So I'm glad that they bump it, but even still, like, Sam gets the short end of the deal, and so does OCE. Like, it sucks. I don't know. There's no good solution to it, but I am happy that they're taking it seriously. There's way too many times that you see these types of situations occur, and they just kind of brush it under the rug without taking it for the seriousness that it is. So this was something that Sonics, I think, acted very quickly on, which I'm happy about. There's no good way to fix this. Like, it's just something that we have to stomach, and it sucks. Like, ultimately, how do you guys feel about season 9? Like, is it null? Does it not count in the mentality? Is it just, this is our way to, I guess, try out a spring summer split kind of mentality? Like, because we're getting a little bit of everything. We got online matches, we got double headers, we got, regionals being weighted. Like, should they take into account season 9 for season 10 LAN? Like,
that would be sick, except because Worlds was canceled, they should have adjusted NA and EU schedule so we didn't play a match on a Monday.
True.
But yeah,
That's
it would
true,
be the
actually.
perfect. It would be the perfect opportunity to test a dual split system into one Worlds. I don't know if that's something they're aware of or thinking of, but
No,
it would be the
no
perfect
way.
way to jump into that.
They're so not planned ahead, I think.
Yeah,
Like,
I guess
even when we sort of raised with Sonics the extra 250k, like, it should be for more like the league play teams, because they're the ones that were entitled to earn that money if they made Worlds for the 500k. And they're like, all right, we'll take it on board, sort of thing. Like, they don't. It's not like they were like, oh no, we've already got this, and this set up. Like, they don't even have any sort of tournaments like ready to go in the works, sort of thing. It sounds like it's still all in the planning phase of how they deal with this big gap now, I guess, between the end of league play and the Olympics, or during the Olympics as well. This big gap. So it seems like there's nothing really planned. So I can't see them ever considering taking season 9, standings into season 10 and having a dual split. I don't think the season, like, I don't know. I think we'll say it matters, but I think in the big scheme of things, there's no world champ, and it's just a little half season that doesn't really count until next season. Like, whoever wins is cool. You won regionals. It's not going to mean anything really, to be honest. It's online.
which sucks. And there's a lot of people that think that there should be still international competition, but you can't with ping. There's no competitive integrity. It would not work. So a lot of people in chat are asking, because I mentioned the split. A lot of people have never seen like a split season system. Were you guys around? Were any of you guys around in season 1, like the very first season?
Yeah.
I was intrinsically around, but not
Yeah.
part of the scene.
Yeah. So for those that don't know, in the very first season, people don't remember, but season 1 actually had 2 seasons to it. There was a part A and a part B. And basically what they do is they take your results from the first season and give them a point amount based upon how you place and how you perform, and then they accumulate points of the second split and put those together to get a spot to LAN. Basically, it takes 2 seasons together to figure it out. Happened too early. It was in Rocket League's infancy of pro scene. They scrapped it very quickly because they realized how poor it was, because teams were still trying to figure out, like, we didn't have the names, the notoriety, or the like solidified rosters to make it work very early on, so they scrapped it. But now that you're starting to see a little bit more consistency, it's a little bit different. League of Legends does it probably the best, in my opinion, with them having like a mid-season tournament, like an invitational. Like, they have things that weigh into guaranteeing a LAN spot, even though it's the first split. Like, there's a lot of things that are really cool about it, but it's a lot to do logistically and otherwise. So it would be cool to see them kind of test the waters to see how they want to do that. But I agree with CJ. I don't think it's thought about ahead of time. They're just trying to scraping by to make sure that things don't fall apart even more so. But as we like to do here, we like to take credit for things when they happen, even if it's not us. Mouse, what's up? But how about we offer solutions? Ideal situations. What do you guys would like to see? What things do you think they could do to make the high end, the top tier, the pros really happy, or even the casuals?
For me, I think like make it so regionals really does count. Like top 4, you go to, or like your just typical LAN teams, you go to like a closed off LAN down the line before season 10, and you play for like a pseudo world championship. I don't think we should just completely scrap the season in that aspect and just jump right to season 10, act like season 9 never happened. Because right now we're basically like you're playing for top 6 and then you're fine. That's about it. Other than money, that's like you want to get top 6 to secure the next season.
Even
And
with
after that,
I mean, I am Katowice did the same thing with StarCraft. Like the reason why everybody was pissed about it was because they told them flights and the event was canceled like 26 hours in advance. Like people spent thousands of dollars to get to Poland, and they're like, yeah, you can't get in, sorry. So that's why people were really mad. But like the casters, the staff, like everybody was like, this fucking blows. This sucks so much. So do you still think we should go ahead with it, make it for competitive purposes, or is it like part of the reason LAN is so awesome is because you're there with a live crowd and audience, and if that's not there, is it really still a LAN? Like it just doesn't feel. I just
You're getting
don't know.
like Summit territory, which is more like a chill event.
Yeah, just like have
Like
like
Summit Gold Rush.
just have an off-season LAN where you invite the teams that would have gone to World and see who really was the best or whatever at that time, or in current moment, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you can take the intrinsic results, and if coronavirus ends up blowing over, like have an event in August after Olympics finishes, or would have finished if it ends up getting canceled. Can make a heartbeat on that, and I'm pretty sure something's going to happen. Have an event in August if you have one already planned, and just get the 12 teams out there.
Well, yeah. Look, I know Lawler was talking about like the dual, points, double season, dual split. But surely you wouldn't be able. Yeah, you can't have promotions and demotions if you have a dual split. What if they said that everyone keeps their spot? We go on next season.
No, promotion relegation. So if we're talking about having a dual split system, we can take a lot of influence from the existing system in League of Legends, or what existed before both the LCS and the LEC became franchised, which had dual split system with MSI in the summer and Worlds in just beginning of winter, end of fall. They had relegation and promotion between both splits, and they did it a point-based system based off your placing, with the winner of the regional finals in the fall split, summer split, getting an auto bid, and the next 2 teams from each major region, in order of how many points they have.
It made the regionals way more important. It'd be like iBuyPower automatically qualifying no matter what because they won the first season. They don't have to accumulate points in the second split to qualify as well, which pretty much happened. Pretty much happened anyway, right?
I mean, I think they had to get top 8
to
clinch it. They had to get first and top 8, which they did.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's basically the same thing. Like you have to get first. Well, you can get first in fall and be immediately invited, or first in spring and like a top 4 finish and then get invited. So
there is ways to work into like a promotion relegation based upon like split to split basis, which is really cool because then you can have a team like, say FlyQuest, right? Like in the middle of the spring split comes in. Yeah, no, FlyQuest. Like we're going way back. FlyQuest promotes from the RLRS. They have the performance they do. Top 4. You have this team that was literally just 3 months ago going to one world championship a year, and they qualify like this miraculous like hero underdog run. It's a really cool storyline that you see. But then if they don't maintain it, they still have the chance of being relegated. Like you could basically check in with relegation like we do every 4 to 6 months. But then you still get the big grand event. You still have the underdog storylines. It's a cool concept that they did before franchising was a thing. I think it's when League of Legends was technically at its strongest, but that game is so massive now. There's so many players that it doesn't matter what they do because they're just going to always have sold out arenas. There's no way they don't. So I don't know. It's an interesting concept overall. Is there anything that you guys are really bugged about other than the fact that it's just there's no LAN? Like it sucks. Is there anything that you wish they would have tweaked differently about like prizings or like just maybe a format change or scheduling like anything? Any ways that could have been better?
They should have funded an IRL CJ show.
I mean, I'm down for that.
Fly you all out to New York.
I feel like we we exhausted all our grievances. I mean, I don't know really what they could have changed for teams that are at the top.
Yeah.
Obviously, it just sucks that we grinded so hard for the season, and then there's really nothing to show for it.
Right.
Yeah,
Like
it's
pretty
like
much we secured our top 6. We're good for next season. We're content, but whatever.
it's like most of what they decided to do was the right decision. It's just no matter what they do, it can't really cover up how much it sucks, right? Like we're not going to get an after party at Worlds. We're not going to go see all
we
the
didn't even
people
have
we've
one
been
last
competing
season anyway,
against.
man.
Well, we're not going to be able to go to Sky Bar if we want to. There's not going to be a Sky Bar. Not even a chance for a Sky Bar,
Don't
right?
remind me.
There's no player area to go chill with people that are visiting. There's no place for orgs to make content about Worlds runs. There's no epic stage speeches coming from coaches. Sucks.
Yeah, it's a frustrating thing. Anything else left to add, guys? Otherwise, we're gonna go into the results for week 5, 6.
Do we want to quickly just consider the Olympics now? Just like, what do we think? Do we think that's going to get cancelled?
I assume so. I don't.
Hard read, yeah.
Probably, yeah.
I want to say I'm like 70%, 75% is cancelled.
Based upon the
They
way
can't
things
make
are
the call until
trending.
later, though.
Based upon the way things are trending, and like if you've been following the political stuff, like it just doesn't look like apparently
There's no way we have it.
Wuhan has gotten it, I guess, somewhat under control from what I've been reading, but like it's just
It's everywhere now.
yeah, it's I don't know. I think it's gonna be a bit like I wouldn't be surprised if there's literally 0 lands for most things, and people are gonna have to learn to find a way to make it work online or do like really intimate kind of like BTS select, like, and then have to change formats or something to make it worthwhile. Because
I was going to say, though, the fact that they didn't choose to do like a closed off LAN, like a no crowd sort of thing. They just completely cancelled it. Shows that they most likely cancel the Olympics. Like if we did a closed off Worlds, you'd think that maybe they'd make the Olympics work. But since they're like, nah, like safety first, we're not having anything. That makes me think now that Worlds is done. I mean, Olympics is a no-go. But hopefully they announce it soon, because it's literally, 2 months of Olympics qualifiers or something, or 3 months. So they need to announce it before that. It could be, imagine if you qualify and then they're like, no, there's no Worlds or no Olympics.
Yeah,
I mean,
if that happens,
that would be
qualifiers for Olympics is in May, so I would assume they'd cancel by then if that's the case.
I assume they can't cancel by mid-April.
Hmm.
So they have a month and a half.
I'm just happy it's happening now instead of like next year or something, if they plan to have like a whole bunch of lands in off season, because everyone's crying about that. There only being RLCS and then the Olympics, and then nothing in between or in general. So in that sense, I'm kind of happy about that. But who knows what we got planned for later this year. Hopefully something good.
fingers crossed, man. It's needed because there's not a whole lot going on. Like if you're an online tournament organizer, like you better be planning some stuff, because there's literally nothing else. Honestly, there's literally nothing else. So as unfortunate that is, it's the truth. So yeah, kind of sucks.
And as we transition to talking about RLCS, the crazy thing for us is literally last week we were saying this show was going to be our top 4 predictions based on the 2 back-to-back matches to see who was going to go to Worlds. And even though we can't really predict who's going to go to Worlds, we can discuss what might have happened based on past few days.
I guess so, man. But with that said, I don't have a graphic for this, so I'm just gonna add a 10th display capture for. Actually, no, I can do window. No, I have to do display, otherwise I can't write on it.
Window capture.
Window capture.
Going through the window.
I forgot to drop the other.
Yeah, good luck doing that now.
Good luck to Scuff podcast, Scuff season
We're just doing what we can, man. At this point,
leaked. Just kidding.
leaked us typing your name. Yeah.
Jahzo.
That's really small. Let's do
Clean AF.
Let's do this. Boop.
The show.
The show. The week 5 matches show. Oh my gosh.
I got it.
Where are you right now?
We improvise over here.
All right, let's kick it. E United versus Flight. First up, we predicted E United. Surely, what has gone wrong? What is wrong with E United? Flight get their first win.
Jesus.
Flight
I mean,
had a no sleep rapid.
It's about as
I
good
mean,
as I can get it,
Flight
guys.
changed their play style. When we played them, at least, they were playing a lot more aggressive off like kickoffs, and then on like, just in general, just
That
challenging
actually
everything,
works.
not giving space. And United probably got caught off guard there. Especially like United, they were losing a lot of their kickoffs, so it led to a lot of goals. And then just Flight just kept coasting off them. A lot of like miscommunication errors and whiffs and stuff like that from United because they're just getting overwhelmed. They just couldn't get warmed up into the series.
We had like what 3-1 on this.
Probably like a 3-0, honestly.
Here, I'll pull up the predictions that I have recorded.
I think it was a 3-0. Flight scored 5 goals in 2 of the games. Like that is insane.
Yeah, we had a sweep for
Conceded
EU.
5 goals.
You wanna run off the results that we had? I think we had 3-2 Ghost on this one.
No, 3-1 Ghost.
PK we had losing
We had
because we jinxed it and it worked. Let's go.
2-3, yeah.
Yeah, game 5.
Nice 600 IQ Chrome.
We had a sweep for G2.
0-3.
And then we had you guys 3-0ing, I think. Or did
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
we?
Yeah, you did.
And then this one we had 3-0 as well.
3-1.
3-1. That's the worst
Yeah.
3.
Mhm.
So we got this one right, this one right, this one right, this one right, and this one right.
Yeah, we went 5 out of 6 on that day.
You guys can't see those check marks. Doesn't even matter.
Hey.
Bang.
Sonic shout us out in the vlog. What did they say to us about it?
Yeah, I don't
That
watch
we're
those.
gonna have. I watched a vlog during their PK series. That we're gonna just go crazy about, or we're gonna be in shambles because they got outshot again, and they somehow still win. Yeah, it was funny.
I have some clips of like them being destroyed, like Ghost controlling the entire series, pressure and everything in round 6, and then they score after just one stupid thing, and I'm just getting frustrated, just being like, how does this happen every goddamn time? Like just getting really mad about it. I'm like, and it was only
Yes.
like game 2 or 3, and I was like, oh, it's happening again.
I think it was Seth. He said like CJ's show is gonna be in shambles because one of their whole team had the same amount of shots as one of the players on PK. Like something crazy like that.
Oh, I remember
Uh,
that. I'm pretty sure we commented on that, like the whole the G2 team when we
Yeah.
were upstairs watching it.
That was
Yeah.
hilarious.
They're good dudes. Shout them out. We give Sonics a lot of shit because the way they
Oh, yeah.
play is just like how are they winning, but they're
Hey,
good.
wins
they're
are wins, man.
legends.
To be 5-1 right now is pretty incredible, actually, based on
I
what
will
we've
give
been seeing.
I will give them credit too. A lot of people cry about getting shit on verbally
Yeah.
about like their way they play and stuff like that, but they're taking it, putting their heads down and just keep grinding. Good for them.
That's why people were so happy to see Dapper back in, man. Like, it's the exact reason. Like, he's been criticized pretty harshly his entire career,
Yeah,
and he just keeps grinding.
especially
Teams,
Satya.
Yep.
Satya
differentials.
as well.
Yeah.
For anyone that's curious, Sonic's total shot differential at this point is minus 81.
Jesus.
Shit's an anomaly, man. That's not supposed to happen.
Yeah.
That's pretty insane, actually.
Yeah.
I don't think it's ever happened in RLCS too.
Minus
Should just
81
wait.
and they're 5-1. That's crazy.
Some says not a style that'll win them a championship, but like it's nearly worked out perfectly for Sonics because they can literally play this and win regionals. It can work online. It's proven to work online. So many teams have done it.
So is it if Veloce's winning LAN,
No.
quote unquote?
Veloce Sonics, let's go, baby.
What was Veloce's
God.
shot differential? Oh, so
I
their
reckon
save
they're
differential, by the
fine. I
way,
think
is
Veloce.
51.
I don't think Veloce play like similar to Sonic in that sense. I feel like Veloce are a lot more aggressive, but then they hold the fort when the other team has possession.
Yeah, they pull that shit
Whereas
back.
Sonic's rarely, contest on offense a lot. They'll go for
Unless
like their
it's
one-off
David.
demo plays and then rotate out.
Yeah, a lot of that's been Cassio. I think Cassio's had a big season. I mean, I guess year. We are in a new year, but I mean, I don't want to spend too much time on last week. I mean, things kind of went as predicted. Sonics was kind of a slop fest that they ended up squeaking out. Jaro's saying that he's very happy about the results in chat, put in the complete opposite wording. Ghost, I've been happy with lately. Jahzo, I know we'll get to you with that statement next, but like against Rogue, we saw the means to what we wanted them to accomplish, like just that suffocating pressure, and then they really put it into effect on Monday. So happy about that. I mean, G2 expected what was going to happen against United. They just didn't really do anything because they couldn't. You guys, how do you, Chrome? How did you feel about going against Cloud9?
I mean, I swear, I always say like Cloud9 is that team that always takes us to Game 5, or it's just like we always really have like a close series. But honestly, felt like we should have 3-0'd them. Like after those first 3 games, they weren't really doing much, and then they stole that game from us. And then that Game 4, they were actually playing pretty well outside of that clear goal that we got. But they were pressuring us really well, and I was like, damn, they could have really took that series from us. And it showed as well when they played Energy, and we talk about that later.
Yeah.
It seems like they're finding their footing. Maybe it's just a one-off series, who knows? But from my perspective, it seemed like they're finding their footing.
Definitely a different showing on Monday, which I can't wait to talk about because that series was actually... We'll get to that.
Can we just move on to week 6 NA? We'll just do all NA and then all EU.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Because I like
I mean,
so close
energy
together.
PK. PK had its doubleheader. Yeah.
Justin was popping off. Like,
Yeah.
PK, I felt like we were controlling the whole series, but then Justin would hit his one clip in that same game, and then Energy would just coast to a victory after it.
Yeah.
Mm.
Jahzo, you remember much of that series?
No, because I went to the grocery store.
What'd you
watching
get?
that
Weird
from the car.
flex.
We were
Oh,
flexed,
a
but
lot of
okay.
I mean, we were done for the day. What else were we supposed to do? So just stick around and we expected Energy to just clap, right?
Could have joined the watch party for once. That'd been cool, but whatever.
Bro, we'll get into that later.
CJ works hard. He gets up at 2 a.m. stays up for 8 hours, and then passes out
Jahzo can't even...
for
can't
so
be
long
frozen.
that he's an hour late to the podcast. That's how long he slept.
Yeah. 30 hours sleep.
I mean, I wouldn't blame Jahzo. Actually, I would blame Jahzo if the games are really good. But, like, it's EU, and it's like, I'd rather watch paint dry, like, when I watch some of those series. Like, they're so bad.
We'll get to them,
the
guys.
day
We'll
after
get to
on
them.
Sunday, I completely skipped all the matches that I should have skipped. I was there for the last 2, and we loved those last 2.
Yep.
That's
Agree.
true.
Yep. It's pretty good.
Maybe I'm just so good at sniping when I should wake up.
Maybe, man. Maybe.
Nah, I mean, we expected Energy to do well. I'm pretty sure we were reacting in the car to PK actually winning a few games like it was a big surprise. I
Yeah.
don't really know specifics. I don't know how Energy was actually playing on the pitch, but it was surprising to see PK take more than one match or one game out of the series.
But I don't think anyone was super surprised with like, I don't know, like it was game 5, but no one's like, wow, NRG didn't really play that well. They're like, oh yeah, NRG got the win. PK played pretty well, but NRG pulled it off. No one's really worried about NRG until week 6 happened. And yeah, then it all went to shambles.
Yeah. Jahzo, can you pull up our results from last week for week 6? So I can write those in?
Yeah,
so we
I
can
got
compare.
you. SHE sweep flight. Got that right.
No sweat, Chrome.
Sonics 3-2 United.
3-0.
They swept.
Boom.
We had Sonics winning, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
3-1 for G2.
3 on the other way.
I mean, we were
Yeah.
close, I guess.
We had 3-1 for PK. And we had a sweep for NRG.
I'm pretty sure I called on the show this is a series that Rogue just wins when we're just not expecting them to beat him.
Yeah,
I remember you saying that.
we did
I mean,
discuss
we
that
all-
as a
we-
coin toss.
We all discussed it. It was going to be like a 50-50, I feel.
Yeah.
Just for how both teams looked.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, we all comment on the fact that Rogue could just show up
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
and just win, and they did.
I think
but we
the
can start off with Crumb's match, I guess.
yeah. You wanna? I mean, you guys kind of just did what we expected.
Skim over that one.
I mean, we start off slow. Like Flick really were bringing it to us. Like they changed their play style, really aggressive. It was a good look for them. Then we just seemed to get warmed up in the series, and then that last game we just played how we felt usually, and then that was easy for us. I mean, I'm excited to see how they look for these last 2 weeks because if they play like that, man, they can get a few games off a lot of. They got to go for broke right now, so
Yeah.
I'm not surprised, honestly. I don't even know if it's possible for them to get even not getting a promotion relegation tournament.
We can use Nala now, by the way. Now that you're saying that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
If
I
you
don't
want me
know.
to comment on
their
Flight's chance.
first game. I mean, scoreline. What was it? Yeah, it went OT. 2 minutes. I mean, it was 1-0.
OT first 2 games, yeah.
It was super close. I mean, Sonics did what Sonics does best, except for they didn't drop a game. I mean, 3-1.
they look good.
Yeah.
United, they don't look good.
No. It was
Yeah, we
rough.
actually saw a lot of offense from Sonics. That was actually really good. We saw the capabilities from them. But United, I was
Yeah, that's
expecting
like a
more
good
from them,
team.
like you said, CJ.
Yeah.
I don't know what's really going on with that team.
It's just so weird because, like, against a team that gives you space, they just didn't use any of it. Like, those are the moments when I expect Ajax to have a really good series and just non-existent. Like, even Hawkstar was,
Yeah.
like, making some really awkward touches.
And they're usually like a really scrappy team. Like they make
Mhm.
the series close no matter who they play. So I was like really surprised to see that they would fall apart if anything.
I agree.
Well, like United have only what are they 2-5? They beat Cloud9, but I feel like any team before this week that had beaten Cloud9, that was just a free win. But now it seems like we've got a different Cloud9.
Yeah, I'm
Hopefully
glad I
that
played Cloud9
continues.
on Saturday and not Monday.
Yeah, that's what I say. I'm feeling sorry for Ghost, Sonic, and PK because they're about to play like the Super Saiyan Cloud9. Everyone else has got a free win. So apart from that, though, EU are like 1-5 if you get rid of that game. 'Cause the only other team they beat was Rogue.
I apologize if you can hear Chicago yelling upstairs.
Oh, I can. I agreed with him, whatever he was saying.
He's yelling about Jackbox Party Pack or something about being an alien. If anyone gets the reference. It's being kind of loud, but it's
Oh.
whatever.
Hopefully he's winning. We'll have
Just
to check
speak
in later.
on stats real quick from the first 2 matches.
Because you
Or
did it
for
on
the teams
Monday.
in the first 2 matches. Flight has a
Mhm.
combined or total chance to of not going to relegation of 3.2%.
So
Okay.
you're saying there's a chance.
Yes, to get 7th or
There's a
6th.
change.
It's not over
The
yet.
rest of the total 100% is majority 10th place. They have a 60% chance to get 10th, and 15 and 20% for 8 and 9.
Ouch.
Rogue has a combined chance of 22% roughly to get either 6th or 7th. The rest of that is bottom 3. So there's also a chance for Rogue to stay in the top 7 and not go to relegation.
Which is what
Which-
those. I mean, those bottom 3 are all fighting for 7th right now.
Yeah.
They just want to be in that null.
The only reason I mentioned Rogue is because that's what happened last season.
Yeah.
They had like a shit season going up until the last few weeks, and then they pulled out a 6th place and stayed in. So I'm looking at them for their performance.
It's rough, man. It's not a fun position. Someone in chat even mentioned it. The specifics. Flight has to go 6-0, 3 over EU, and PK. PK 3-2, SG 3-0, EU, and then C9 has to lose out. Like, there's so many contingencies to make that happen.
So it has to be that or better, I guess,
Yeah, it's
to not go to relegation.
well to get the tiebreaker in the head-to-heads. Those are the results that have to happen. To my knowledge, in order for them to statistically get the because it's game differential as first tiebreaker.
Yeah, instead of head-to-head.
There's a 0.04% chance C9 gets top 2.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Let's go C9.
Yeah, I believe. Those are the
If you
true
want me to-
fans. You're not a bandwagon fan. You're still rooting for top 2 C9 right now. That's rough.
Do you guys want to roast me about our series?
Yes.
I mean, I can say a line before you, or not a line. I can just.
Oh, feel
I
free,
mean,
Jahzo.
I guess my biggest
Yeah,
question
feel
for you,
free.
Jahzo, were like, were
Yeah.
you guys also at the grocery store for this series, or like?
You know, this series was tough, man.
Were you guys
Like,
lagging by
I don't.
chance,
I'm not
or-
even gonna be. I'm not gonna be CNC. I'm not gonna try to like blow over. Like, we deserve this loss, right? 100%. It's not like Chrome trying to blow over Sonics. Like, Sonics still obviously prove themselves. And yes, I'm throwing shade at Chrome right now.
All right. Let's
But
be
okay,
fair real quick.
listen, Ghost.
In what? Wait. Let me cut you out.
Deserve
In
the
what
win.
reality would you think a team that's minus 81 in shots, you would think they'd win a series?
The clutch factor.
Minus 81.
The clutch factor.
All right,
No, you would never think in a million years.
Chrome, the
Season
counter-
9.
and I'm
9 seasons in, you would think a team like that would win out.
How did a team with a plus 91 shot differential lose to Ghost?
It's Ghost. I told you you're going to lose to Ghost on the prediction last week. They're
Gosh.
Ghost. They're good. Their record
Yeah,
doesn't
they're
show
good.
it.
They are good.
They
It's
The problem with that series is there were at least 2 games where we had like 3 to 3.5 minutes of total pressure in their half with the ball. 2 of the games we lost due to a goal in the first 15 to 30 seconds.
The
Yeah, you
only
can see
the
the
only thing I
kickoff goal
remember
going on.
from that series is Ghost just peppering shots on you guys over and over and over. They beat you guys to like literally every ball is what it felt.
Yeah, we had slow rotations. We were out of boost. They had great boost control over our corner boosts. There were many times where we found us stacked in the corners with no boost, with no corner boost to grab, nothing. They had great counterattacks, so we would be pressured. So they had great defense, which led to a great counterattack. A lot of stuff they were doing really well that series.
I think
And I can't say that it was us underperforming. It was them being the better team on the day.
Kate in chat, I agree with you, and it's a fucking shame. Mist should have been MVP. Holy shit.
Yeah.
It is a shame they give it to Givik. Like, by all means, Cloud9, you got your win, but my god, did Mist control that game.
Every single time that Ghost has beaten us, it's been because of missed defense. I'll say that.
He's so good. That's pretty much what the watch party was just me and Chrome talking about how good Mist was. Like,
Yeah, when we watched the games back after we lost, it was instantly apparent that Mist was clapping us single-handedly. Like, out of all the people, if you say anyone had a really good performance, it was Mist. It's easily point to Mist, say that guy played fantastic, and the other two played up to snuff, and they won.
I mean, credit to Atomic. He was
Yeah.
challenging a lot in that midfield as well to allow Mist to get into rotation and do his thing.
Yeah, I'm not saying it was all Mist. I'm just saying
yeah.
Mist was great. The other two played enough to win.
I mean,
Yeah,
those
and then
two
some.
like really
And then
enable each other. Like you saw in full effect what Ghost can be. As long as Illusion's able to just like put a pretty bow on continuing pressure, and Mist and Atomic just go off. They challenge everything. They apply pressure. They know when to slow it. Like you see what that team is fully capable of why everybody in Astro has like been so fearful of them. But like they haven't brought it to league play. We finally got to see it, and of course it's against you, Jahzo. So like even fucking better, right? Like.
I said he
That-
clapped us single-handedly. I didn't mean it in the sense that he was the only one clapping us. I meant like he could solo play the shit out of us.
Yeah.
He could
I think
single-handedly
this series was
hold down the goal.
this series is like the first series that I've seen G2. I don't know. You guys didn't just have all the pressure. No, like I think I mentioned it with Lawler or something. I was like, holy shit! Like this is crazy. Like this is just like back and forth pressure. It's not just like G2 having it all and then giving it away for like 10 seconds and then they're back on pressure. Like Ghosts are taking it up to you guys. And as you said, I think credit to them. Obviously, game one, I think you guys lost to a kickoff goal. I don't want to say that.
Oh yeah, we lost 0-1 to a goal that went in at 4:47.
Yeah. So I guess make the most of your chances. You're a little bit unlucky, but got to stop those bad boys. And
I mean, I wouldn't say
Credit to
it's
Ghost.
luck. They won based off skill.
yeah,
You can just
They
take it straight up
I
series
think
by
I
that.
think
you're
the most
trash.
the most impressive thing is I think they made you guys resort back to old habits, and that's
Yeah.
you know a team is really dominating when they can make you guys fall trap under the same issues that plagued you all last season. Like defense was rough because they just didn't let you guys get comfortable ever.
True.
It was a really good look for Ghost. I just want to see them recreate it. I would love to see this team start to trend in the right direction. As for you guys, Jahzo, because obviously we're not trying to be too harsh on you.
Yeah, we are.
What I mean,
You can be.
you guys can be harder than this. Then I was the only one who gave him some digs.
All right,
I wanna-
I'll cut in there. I'll go then.
Get him.
All right.
During the watch party, Jahzo,
Hmm.
Chrome said that G2's defense is abysmal. I want to put that out there. What are your thoughts on that?
Hmm.
I'm gonna dig on him by using what Chrome said.
Nice.
We got him.
Is Chicago gonna clip it again and call me delusional?
I don't know. We'll see.
He
Team is
said when you
independent
guys
of
are
me.
pressured, you guys don't know how to, I don't know. Chrome, you remember what you
The-
said. Quote yourself.
That could be selective memory.
I will
Because
say that
there are
Go
there are plenty
ahead.
of times where we're playing a team like SSC or NRG. They're absolutely starving our boost, yet we somehow live after like a minute of pressure. There are many times like that. But there are also many times where they exploit a mispositioning on defense or a misread or mistouch or a mistake. Like those are teams that are very good at capitalizing on mistakes. But I feel like they won't remember the times where we actually last over the pressure.
Yeah, but that scrims where you're playing the best possible, way of playing because
We
nothing's
do
on the
it
line.
in
You're just
matches, too.
practicing. But when you get in matches, you're gonna make even more mistakes because things are on the line. That's just how it is. So, I just know for a fact you can't keep up that play style in scrims no matter what when things are on the line. I've seen it before in the past. I've seen it today. I will see it in the future because it's really, really difficult to play perfect at all times. And your team, I know from scrims, you guys are always on offense a lot. You guys tend to fold a lot on defense. You guys get put on it. And a team like Ghost, who matches your pace, cuts off everything that you guys want to do, and then you're forced on defense for a prolonged period of time. You get caught out, and it shows that they literally scored so many times on you guys because of it.
Bang. Here we go. CJ show beef. We're getting into
Beef.
the juicy stuff. Week 6.
It was
That's what I'm
finally my
talking about.
turn.
Do it again, CJ. Do it again. Hit him with another one.
That's what we needed. That's what we needed.
Now it's on you guys to not lose another series, or else it's your turn again. The full rotation. Just
I
watch
mean,
out.
I got top 6. I'll see you season 10, Jahzo.
Hey, I got top 6.
That one, brother.
I mean,
Baby,
either way, G2 like the exciting thing is this is when the matches actually get difficult. Apparently, like the end of the season when we get to see the high priority matches, the big headed teams going back to back. Because the only match that really matters is when you guys play each other.
Yeah, that's true. I actually
is-
it goes game 5. I
which
hope
is
it's
which is
OT.
the second to last game of the season.
I hope it goes game 5 OT and XP on goals. You're welcome.
Can I say though, I hate. I don't want to call out the subreddit or people, social media, but
Yes, he
previous
does.
to
Don't
week
listen to him. He
6,
wants to call you guys out.
everyone's like G2's a super team, and just because they have one loss, they're all like, "What's wrong with G2? What's gone wrong?" It's like, all right, it's just 1 week. Like, I'm not. We're not saying that G2's a bad team because they lost the game. I think they're still an incredible team, and they're still
Yeah, they are.
would have been a contender for Worlds. But I hate everyone's like, what's happened to G2? And it's the same with like Cloud9 having 1 good week. We'll get to that series, but like NRG missed so many balls, and like Cloud9 did play well, credit to them. But like we can't just say, oh, this is the Cloud9's back. Like we have to see consistency from that.
Yeah.
They can't just pop off for 1 week.
It wasn't
And
like-
everyone's like, Cloud9's back, 5 minutes to go. Like it's just like 1 week. Settle.
Yeah, no. And my thing too is with the whole G2 thing is they really haven't played anyone up to snuff yet. So and now they are. So they're gonna play all the top teams. So we get to see how they really look. But I don't think G2 is anything like they're not bad. They're a good team. I think they're top 3 and they've been playing well. They obviously not last place like last season. So
Hey,
give them the credit right there.
with Worlds canceled, there's some motivation lost. I don't know if it's all of it, but the fact that we have season 10 locked in,
Yeah, it's something to be proud of.
it's much better feeling than last season. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
For those of you that have not been in threat of relegation, the feeling when you hear that you're locked into the next season.
Something I always make sure to bring up on the desk. Players, promotion relegation is probably the most stressful time of their career ever. More than
Yeah.
qualifying for LAN, more than like promotion relegation is spooky. It is not a good time, man. I cannot imagine what it's like to be in that position. Shit's scary, man. But yeah, Energy Cloud9 3-0. Energy looked like shit. The amount of like uncharacteristic whiffs.
Oh, PK Rogue. We're not gonna talk about.
Like Gyro's in chat. He's already said about it. I don't know if we need to. I mean, we
Rogue played pretty well.
Yeah, they did.
I mean, all right, just to be a little brief, I guess PK seemed to still struggle with the fact that they over-aggress on offense for whatever reason. Either, Reddle's ball chases doesn't allow someone to go for the ball, and then there's two people out of position, and then there's no one rotating back yet, which seems to be the issue that, from what I noticed that series, Gyro didn't know where to be on the field. He didn't know when to go for the ball, as prevalent in that Utopia game where he just kept jumping. I'm sure you remember that, Lawler. And he just didn't know when it was his ball. Him and AJ are fighting with the ball because when it was their turn to actually go for the ball, you didn't know who to go for or whose ball it is. And Rogue, I guess, they're playing solid. I mean, they weren't doing anything crazy in that sense. It's just like PK kept, putting himself in tough situations and getting scored on because of it.
As soon as there's that one defensive mistake, and then from there, PK looked non-existent.
Yeah,
and I hate to call it Gyro, but it's like I don't know if it's the nerves or what, but like pre-jumping and jumping for everything, trying to force a touch, trying to get involved in some way. When it's like if he just stays grounded and goes back into rotation, none of those results happen. It's just like
they tend to panic a lot on defense as well.
It was bad.
This looks like they're not spread out. That's why they're double committing. They want to play fast, but I think if you want to be a fast team, you have to be spread out because then it's clear like whose ball it is. Because then, like if you're a fast team and you're all close together, you don't have that time to sort of like go, oh, is he going to go? Or am I going to go? Sort of thing. There just seems to be when panic comes into it as well. There's less like logic through into it. But if you're spread out, it's more clear of what's going on. Like
adding on to that though,
yeah.
If you want to be a fast team, you need to be able to adjust and have fast close passes. You need to be able to come together when you need to for the short passes to be able to keep pressure up in like the clutch moments. Like there's going to be teams that are going to be able to cut off your midfield, and if you're too spread out where your passes are going to be like in the air for too long.
No, that doesn't mean. I don't mean. It just means like in general. Like if you see a pass coming in, you can get in close for it, sort of thing. I'm not saying you always have to be away from your teammates. I'm just saying in general, they seem set up so close that they don't really have that room to like if they want to go far or they want to go close. They want that long pass. They seem very. Let's play quick and everyone get in. Everyone come in tight. Let's see what happens.
Like if you partition the field into thirds, right? Like left side of the goal, right side of the goal, and then like straight on.
3 lanes.
Yep. Most of them are, at least 2 of them are always in the same lane. They overlap so hard. Like their area of effectiveness overlaps like crazy. And if they're on offense, it's okay because it allows them. It's something that you guys did really well last season with G2, where like the follow up was so quick that if you guys were on offense, it's great. But when you're on defense and you're overlapping, one bad touch now has multiple people committed past. You guys don't have the ability to recover. And then you see the panic from, like I called out Gyro, and he's too busy playing Scribble to hear this, hopefully. But you see the panic set in, and it's like people are just jumping at things to jump at things because they assume a shot's coming in, and all of a sudden the team now slows it down a little bit or takes a dribble or decides to pass instead, and you're in no man's land flopping about, and now you have less boost, you're out of position. Like it just doubles down on all the mistakes you're already making. So if they would just spread out and like trust each other to actually make those touches, and I don't know if it's a comms thing, I don't know if it's just because they were at a loss after that one mistake that it just keeps going downhill. Like I don't know if they have Moopy there to really reel them back. Like I don't know what's going on, but it's just these things look very fixable, but I just don't know if it's bad habits that have been there that need to be conditioned out of. I don't know behind the scenes of what's going on.
I mean, as last season, they were still making the same mistakes, positioning and who goes for the ball and whatnot. But they had someone in missed who is just defensive minded, hence why he left the team, because he didn't want to be a defensive player. But he ended up being a defensive player in Ghost anyways. That's funny.
Yeah,
itself,
he
but,
dicked on G2 on offense though. Let's say that.
But if you ever looked at PK last season, they were always pre-jumping saves and always getting lucky saves and stuff like that. It's just because you got 2 defensive-minded players in Gyro and Miss, and then you got Reynolds doing whatever the hell he wants. And now this season, you want to have 2 offensive-minded players, but then they want to keep ball chasing. And then Gyro wants to go for the balls, and he can't go for the ball, and it's just all over the place. It's kind of hard to fix because they've been having those issues with Miss too. So It's kind of, especially in a month span, it's hard to fix those issues right away.
Yeah.
If you look at a lot of the goals they concede, there's like 2 in net nearly every time. It's just because like one decided to rotate front post, and then they're both in front post, and then one's backwards, and the other one's bumping into the other guy. Like it just seems like they're just get back post. Tell Joe, just tell your team to get back post. I did a review like last week, and every goal is just someone rotates front post. You're all just clustered up.
Real quick, if you're gonna come into the stream and hear us talking about a certain player and you decide you should flame them in chat, be prepared to get timed out or permanently banned.
Get out of here, baby.
Do not hate on players that we are giving feedback on how we think they played. They might already be feeling bad off a loss, and you should not make that worse. That's just bad vibes.
A lot of people don't understand we have very, very serious bonds like with a lot of these players. Like Gyro and I would assume get along very well. Like he and I have done replay analysis of their own matches live on my stream together. Like in comms, talking about it actively. Like we're talking at each other, and like yes, he's throwing a little bit of ish back at me, but like at the same time, like I can message Gyro and we could go get. Well, we can't go get drinks. He's too young.
Yeah, and don't be that guy. Don't be that guy trash talking Gyro of all players. He's probably the nicest,
literally the nicest
person ever.
Like if you can make a dream nice team, 2 Gyros and a Dapper. Like just put them together.
Like I'll take all the trash talk. You can all trash talk me, say whatever the hell you want, but Gyro of all players deserve to get banned. Yeah,
you leave that boy alone.
Let's be real. Gyro and Reynolds.
The dads are gonna come out and beat the shit out of you for messing with their kid. Like
I like going to Gyro's chat and messing with him. It's fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, don't go around hating people after a loss. Even after a win, if someone played bad, don't go hating them. That just makes them feel worse, you know?
Right.
Like these players that you watch week in, week out, they have personalities too. They're people. Like they're living just like
they're probably way harsher on themselves than we are too. Like I'm sure he's beating himself about it because he wants to, you know, like obviously there's a lot on the line, especially with regionals and stuff. Like I'm sure he's feeling it too. So kudos to him actually coming and listening to this, right? Like a lot of people will just ignore it and move away from it. So kudos. Humbles you.
Yeah, we're boys with all the players, so like we can do it because we have
because we know, but like I know Gyro's first name. I don't want to. We're not that close, so I can't say it. But like,
yo, Gerard, are you good, bro?
Yeah.
I mean, on the flip side, like, what did you guys think about Rogue? I felt like they were playing pretty solid. I mean, a lot of the mistakes that they had, they didn't really show that much in this series.
Yeah. I don't know. I think they played a lot cleaner, but I think it was due to being given that opportunity due to the mistakes that were being.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it just doubled down. Like the mistakes that were being shown just enabled first in them to feel a lot more comfortable.
Yeah.
So. Energy Cloud9, I kind of skipped over. I went straight to EU because it's pretty straightforward. Energy played like poo. Cloud9 actually played like a team. They were trusting each other. Like it was nice to see like them actually rotate and let people play. Primarily Torment.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't get that Cloud9 like I said earlier.
Yeah, you said that on Monday.
I'm glad we didn't get that Cloud9, dude.
You said that on Monday. You're just like, man, I'm so happy we didn't play that Cloud9 on Saturday. And I was just like, yeah.
Nah, they looked good, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it seemed like they understood that, wow, okay, we're not, faster and better than everyone. Let's just play solid. And then they actually started trusting each other. Maybe they started talking. That's probably was a simple fix, maybe. I don't know. But hopefully they showed up again.
That was a Cloud9 I kept saying I was going to see eventually. It's the one we always believed in.
Top 4 Cloud9.
That was good Cloud9.
Which is weird. Whenever we scrim them, they're always pretty competitive with us. So I was expecting like a better performance this season from them.
Jahzo, where are the results? Where did you put those?
I never. Nobody really cares about the tweets apparently, based on my analysis. So I have them saved.
On my. They
to
have,
be fair, though,
they have some of the most impressions on the Twitter. What are you talking about?
Well, there. I dropped it there anyway, so you can take a look.
Yeah, let me not click on those, otherwise it'll mess with the...
Oh, Steam?
No, I already got them. 1-800
contacts
has my brand.
How did you get them?
I mean, you sent them to me, but if I click on it, it'll mess with all the webcams. So I'm just like...
Oh, are you like...
It's tiny, dude.
You're like squinting?
No, I'm not old. Shut up.
It's not that small, you weirdo. I think.
Are you on a 1440p monitor, CJ?
No.
Then shut up.
I'm on a 1440 ultra wide.
I can read it.
Poggies.
I'm glad-
Actually, right now it's that the picture in Discord is on a 4K. So
nice.
I'm on my triple 240 hertz setup for no reason.
why do you have triple 240s?
Why
Maybe you're the
not?
reason. World's going. No, I'm just kidding.
What the?
All right, you
No,
week 5?
NRG played crap. Anyway,
still talking
before
about-
yeah, before yeah.
It was
like
bad, dude.
Cloud9 play well, but watch NRG. The amount of goals they get from whiffs. So I think off week for NRG. So I'm not.
Turbo missed
fully
a
convinced
very
on
easy
Cloud9 yet.
clear. Justin missed some open nets.
Garrett missed a ball. for
Garrett
a
missed
goal.
some stuff. It was pretty rough from NRG, but Cloud9 was capitalizing. So overall,
Mhm.
I mean, it did take a Cloud9 like peaking because Cloud9 like the goals they were getting like squishy. I guess the game winner was the double tap, and like to score like that on energy, it just put them down even more. I think like they weren't like bad goals. A lot of the goals they were getting were just really good, in my opinion.
I'd agree with that. Because we're ready to go to EU.
Yep.
We're gonna crush through these
Yep.
because, as Chad says, EU more like EU.
Snooze fest.
Resident sleep inner. Yeah, glad I woke up late to some of these. Hell, CJ didn't even want to show up. That's why he just left. He's like, not worth it.
I mean, the fact that like previous CJ watch parties were him making fun of like Mouse when a lot was on a team and just like memeing in general. To this time around, he's just playing Slither throughout the whole day. Just goes to show how awful this season is of EU.
NA is pretty lit though.
Yeah, and it's been exciting to watch, but EU is just like, when we joke about like just putting a W next to the like prediction, it's because we honestly just don't. It doesn't matter to us. Like it just, like I'm curious. Like obviously I know it's late for European guys, but like, is it actually that boring, or is it just us being NA bias? Like,
it just when you watch the games, it doesn't feel like any of the teams really want to win. By the looks of it,
it's just so
there's no
stale.
teamwork. It's just boom the ball the whole time, and then
100%.
hope someone makes a
we can
miss.
make overarching statements about EU gameplay versus NA, and I think the biggest one is EU looks kind of slow compared to NA.
There's like a couple teams where you're like, all right, cool, but then there's the rest where you're just like, CJ dropped his grilled cheese toast, and you like pick it back up and you're like, I could eat it, but like, I don't want to.
I think the thing Chrome said is
Oh man,
it's exactly that.
like,
EU just are trying not to lose. They are just, let's not concede. It is, we joke about Veloce for boomer mode, but pretty much every team's nearly adopted that, except for Dignitas. Even Vitality is a team that's just like, they just win because they have clutch factor and they're just three obviously incredibly good players individually. But I think Dignitas is still the most impressive team, even though they lost in week 6. So I think Dig are like the only ones that are actually, in terms of like how Rocket League looks like it's going to go in future. Like they're trying to pull off like pre-jump pass plays, but they've still got their third man playing nice and defensive, locking the fort down. But the stuff they're trying to pull off is awesome, and it's great to watch. But apart from that, EU are just let's not lose. Like reciprocity is so boring to watch now. Obviously you have Loche, like TSM Singularity. Singularity sometimes decide they want to win when they're versing Vitality, and then other times it's just defensive. Barcelona, defensive, sit in net, make 12 saves a game. Mao's defensive, sometimes aggressive, and Dig are the only aggressive team. It's boring to watch.
yeah. I mean, we do this every week, and I kind of feel bad, but it's like, is there anything you guys really want to talk about in these first couple of matches? Like,
The first 4, I'm so glad I slept through. Well, except maybe seeing Mouse beat out TSM, but that's kind of expected, right? As long as Mouse
was that the one where Magnus like popped off and it didn't matter?
Yeah, that was Pognus.
Yeah.
Pognus.
I mean, I will say I do like Endpoint. Like they're just not up to par yet. Like I like some of the things that they're doing. They're trying to incorporate pass plays and be more aggressive, but they're just not experienced as all these other players and teams.
Mm-hmm.
That's why their record doesn't show it. But I think like those type of players are actually trying to win.
I mean, you see the contrast, right?
Yeah.
Like, experienced team in Rec, they get 3-1. Play against TSM, and they 3-0. So like the fundamentals are there. They just need to get that exposure to the RLCS.
They just need the exposure, yeah.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Yeah, as long as Endpoint stay alive, I could see them growing pretty good into next season. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe this season overall.
Monaco secured promotion relegation tourney. I don't know if secured is the right word, but
Well, they locked it in.
yeah.
There you go.
Secured promo
Yeah,
relegation.
I'm like, I read secured. I'm like, I don't know if that's the way we want to say that. Like,
listen.
Well, they did a good enough job to get to bottom 3.
Pog
again, not the way we want to say it.
Listen, the upside is that Pognus and the rest of TSM have a 2.5% chance to stay out of relegation.
Let's go.
So there's a chance.
Let's go.
I'll do it.
It's less than flight, which still kind of scares me, but it's EU and anything can happen.
It's kind of sad like how EU's all trended towards this way, because I swear like we used to be a couple teams you were like, oh, this sucked. We literally had the first 4 series where we were like, really? Like,
they used to be trendsetters in terms of play, and it's just
yeah,
now
I
it's just
think
like
it's
they regress.
savage, you know.
I remember when Shogun came over to cast for the first time, and like EU gameplay was always so much better. It was so much cleaner. Like the style was definitely there. Like we would just get back-to-back Game 5 series that were just like, that was exhilarating. I loved casting that. And then you come back the next week and you're like, fucking shit, NA again. God damn, I don't want to cast this garbage. And you have to like, God, I can't remember something like fucking watching Set to Destroy play. You're like, this sucks. I do not want this. But now that's like, oh God, dude, poor Verge. That's like
Verge
that's like half the teams in EU now that just feel like meh. I'm trying to be
like
nice.
you remember like season 4 we had, you know, like PSG, even though they weren't the best team, Bluey was just like,
oh yeah,
air dribbling, everything was incredible.
Yeah.
And then I guess Savage, it's just Bluey, I guess. But even Savage coming to DreamHacks and stuff was like, this is a sick team. You know, you had Savage Cloud9 series at Leipzig, I want to say.
Yeah.
That was incredible. Like we had just these EU exciting teams, even like Mocket back in the day when Freaky was on of all teams. That was still like an exciting team. There was so much excitement around just the EU teams, and they would like, everyone was taking the game on. They were so good, like mechanically, individually. And that now you have a team like Vitality who's so good, like mechanically and individually, but they still just like do enough. You know what I mean? It's still not like, they don't really go for many interesting things. I mean, if Alpha gets a little bit of space, we go for a flip reset, but they don't really try and create. It's more just, you know, we're just 3 better players. Like we'll win eventually. You know, we'll just get the win. That's just what it seems like with every team.
I'm genuinely curious. Chat, if any of you are from Europe and like big supporters of the European scene, like you have a favorite EU team, please type number 1, anything, just to let me know physically that you're from the European.
1 in chat if you're an EU fan,
yeah,
and only an EU fan, or like majority EU fan
From EU,
or from EU. Basically, any like main EU fan, I guess.
Okay.
So
if you guys are EU mains, like, is it just us because we're all from like different regions? Like we don't like that. Like obviously 3 of us are from NA, but like, is it us just being NA bias, or is it? Do you guys feel it too? For those listening on Spotify, there's a lot of 1s and other numbers and a couple kappas.
What if I said say 2 in chat if you agree with us and it's not any bias?
I mean, I'm a coach. It's my job to study other teams from other regions and stuff like that, which I do. And I don't really think it's biased when I see teams just like do some simple mistake that shouldn't be happening this late, you know, in RLCS.
3?
Nah, EU is boring. I like Mau's Dig, but the rest of the teams are boring. That's fair, man. Like, I don't know. Like, it feels bad to say, but it's like I just don't know how to say it better than just like, yeah, they're boring. It's not entertaining. And do you guys think it's just from a stylistic choice, like they're just playing safe, or is it
safe? Just styles.
It's hard to say, right? Because like nowadays we're not getting these crazy storylines. Like season 4, when you brought up PSG, CJ, it brought me back to finding out that Frontline, this crazy team that was 5-0, unexpected, just qualified almost out of nowhere, got picked up by PSG, one of the biggest football clubs in Europe. Like that was a crazy storyline, right? They almost had the first ever undefeated season.
Frontline or leftovers?
Our frontline. Frontline. Their logo was an F.
Leftovers was Snasky, Farah, and
Who'd they get
Siki.
picked up by?
Siki.
They never got picked up.
They disbanded after X Games.
It was Siki and Snasky went to Fnatic.
That's right. Yeah.
About it.
And then Farah. Okay. Yeah. Farah went.
Right. So that crazy storyline, we don't like have those. It would almost have been like if AS Monaco, another legit football club, came in and turned up.
Yeah.
And went crazy. But right now they're in relegation.
Those
Or
are
if
the thing
TSM
about FlyQuest and God, who's the other one? Who's the other one that qualified? I mean, obviously there was Barca, and then there was
qualified for what? Be more specific.
And like Triple Trouble, like the guys that came from rival series that went to LAN. Like
FlyQuest never went to LAN.
FlyQuest was one game away, but like they were a team that
True.
promoted rival series, and then they just got stomped by 6 seed Energy, unfortunately for them. But like Triple Trouble did it, and then Barcelona, because they were the first auto bid because they were second seed, which was like crazy. But like that's not even like, it doesn't feel possible.
Like another story that could have happened this season, for those that don't remember, like a month ago when we were talking about it, or a month and a half, the Magnus Metsonoris reunion, like if they had popped off, would have been a great storyline. It would have been way more exciting if TSM was actually doing well.
Yeah.
But Vitality, kind of resident sleeper, kicking scrub for a full French team, doing okay, just like we expect them to do. Well, I guess good. They're 5-1, top or 6-1 actually, top of EU. Like just what we expect, right? There's nothing crazy. Like if Mouse have been doing better, I mean, we're still enjoying watching.
Maybe that's why it feels so shitty, because like we don't even get to see it come to fruition live at LAN. Like we don't get to see this powerhouse roster that they made such a big deal about comms and like kick and scrub. Like we don't even get to see it or like feel that resonance with the players. We just don't get it. Like even watching the streams, like I watched every game except for the first 4 of EU, and it just, I never feel that impact. I never feel that connection with the players, ever, and I'm not going to get it at all this season.
Yeah.
It just felt like before TSM, like we had TSM, right, or Weedham Girls. They were like this team that always were defensive. You know, they would just sort of clear the ball. But everyone, like, I didn't like get bored watching them because they were like the only team that did it, and they still were good at their craft. You know what I mean? They won E-League, sort of playing like that. Like TSM's always known as a sit back in their own field. You know, try and just like wait for a mistake, sort of thing. But then it just all of a sudden, in like nearly just last season, and now especially this season, everyone's like, you know what? That's a great way to play. Let's all just, you know, play as safe as possible. Let's make sure we're protecting our net. If there's a chance that I'm going to lose this 50, I'm not going to go for it. You know, if this pass, should I pre-jump? No way, I'm getting out. You know, it's just, apart from Dig, and I honestly think, you know, someone said Mouse is exciting. We've seen it 1 week from Mouse. When they did play Dig, they decided, let's turn it up because they didn't want to be pressured. But then even when they beat TSM, it's still it's still just defensive oriented Rocket League. It's just safe Rocket League, and they're just playing to get that series dub, which is fair. But compared to NA, like even teams like Ghost who are losing, they're still trying to take the game on, and then it's finally come off when they're playing a team like G2. You know, I'm not NA biased because I'm from OCE. I love, you know, I think Australia actually, you know, tighter with British people.
As a coach too, like to reiterate, like when I watch EU play, what I see in NA a lot is when teams go for passes, you want to cut off the midfield. In EU, they never cut off the midfield. They just resort to going back to net and hope they save the ball, which is why Dig gets all these pass plays off for free. And when we saw Mouse actually do it, it was a competitive series, and it was really exciting to watch. Like, you can't allow these teams to get all this free possession. Because if I see that as a coach, if my team's doing that, like, that's a flaw, and it's going to get exploited by a good team. Like, it seems like none of these teams actually do their homework or study for anything, why they're losing or, you know, why things are not working out. And they just, you know, continue to just play and bash their head into the ball, not really think.
I'm wondering if EU is getting behind in scrims and actual, like, practice ethic.
Well, it could be work ethic and scrims too, yeah.
Yeah, because I know, Chrome, you mentioned at one point that you were trying to do more scrims a day. And I think NA in general is having more consistent scrims. And
yeah, since last season, I locked up like 3 hours and plus some days of replay review for my team. and it paid
So
off. And we've been doing it this season. It's been paying off as well for us.
I'm worried the EU actual improvement ethic is not there. I wonder if they're just using scrims as a way to stay warm and not actually improve.
Well, yeah, that's a perfect example too of Vitality. They're a team that scrims like 45 to 50 minutes a day or something, and then they just play ranked for the rest of it, which is weird, like an anomaly. But they're so talented. But when I see like Vitality, especially the last season, we all talk about they make it to the World Finals. They're always this impressive team, but their league play performance was abysmal. I mean, one off from getting relegated. Hell, they're a team like with 3 superstars, and you're telling me like going into season 7 they're having inconsistent land results. They're getting top 12 at Dallas, and all these other events where they're just not. You're expecting them to win or stuff like that, but they're super inconsistent. I think it's their work ethic when it comes to practice team.
If you guys like these kind of conversations, would like to hear more of them, kind of really, really talked about from every angle we can possibly think of, tweet at us. Let us know what you guys want to hear. These are the kind of conversations when we get into more of like a philosophy type of segment. We'd love to do. Just let us know what you guys want us to talk about and kind of fully flesh out, and we'd love to do it. But yeah, we kind of got sidetracked on the what could be cause of the boringness, but let's focus on the positives as we close out our kind of week 5-6 stuff. What were the matches that were must watch and why? Between both 5 and 6, I have all the 6 matches up with all of our predictions as well. But in particular, was there any 1 or 2 that really stuck out?
Dig Vitality,
Dig Vitality,
100%. And Mao's Village is pretty good. Honorable mention for Monday.
And G2 Ghost is another good one.
Oh yeah, and A-side G2 Ghost.
Yeah.
It's probably it.
Or Cloud Energy.
PK Rogue. I wouldn't say NRG C9 only because it's I guess
if you're a
interesting
C9
to
fan,
see NRG playing bad
Yeah.
because it's weird to see. But probably those 4, yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad to see Vitality trending the way they are. I'm actually really happy for them. Because we mentioned that briefly, like after the Rex series, we're like, if they're playing well there, like I can see them starting to trend in the right direction. They have the means, and the number one thing I wanted to see was, can they adapt against Dignitas? Dig is gonna pass. They're gonna play fast. Can Vitality adapt? And they won. So major kudos to them. But I still think Diggs is a better team, despite that.
Yeah.
So
100%.
yeah, good series. If I had to pick 2, the Ghost Gaming series against G2 was a really good one to watch. You really got to see what Ghost is truly about. Heck you, Jahzo. And Dig Vitality. The Dig Vitality series was a good one. It was a good way to end the weekend. The very long weekend.
Pure C, I'm unfazed. We're still number 1 in A, baby. Pure C, baby.
That stands for confidence, not cocky, by the way, chat. It's a little bit different. All right, we're going to move on to our Week 7 predictions. We're just going to start with you because that's how the day would normally start. And it's already up, and I don't have to switch. So EU predictions for next week. This will be Sunday.
This is going to be so easy this whole week.
This is going to be, I think, pretty one-sided in our predictions.
Dig 3-0.
Dig 3-0.
Dig has a
Rex
doubleheader, and
3-0.
so does Endpoint. Luckily, they play each other, so I'm glad the schedule works out this way.
There's a few good matches, but yeah.
Yeah.
Dig Endpoint 3-0.
Yeah, I don't think there's any arguments about that. Endpoint is going to, again, feel the wrath of what it's like to play against an experienced team. Rec TSM.
TSM are done. TSM are just done.
I mean, Reciprocity just looked like trash too recently.
They have, but they're playing a TSM that doesn't know how to score. So Rec is going to be
3-0.
defense too, but
I wouldn't be surprised to see a Game 5 here, honestly.
I
wouldn't be
not.
surprised, but I think Rec know how to win.
I do.
Reciprocity's been getting smoked if anyone's been watching in Johnny Boy Invitational. They've been getting smoked by RS teams. They got destroyed by Espanyol.
Invitational doesn't mean shit, you know it.
I mean, if you're at Reciprocity and you're trying to make top 6, try to make a run for top 4, like you gotta.
Chrome, do
Everything
Astro
serious.
results in naming anything on the next Saturday?
I mean, but it's Reciprocity. They already got crap results in RLCS so far. They got to take everything seriously. So that's why I think it's valid to talk about.
But then it goes back to that philosophy talk we talked about like, are they taking it as seriously as they should? Is it practice? Is it just like to stay in form? Is it, what's the real intent behind why they play? Is it just because there's nothing else to play? Or is it because they want to win? I don't question the work ethic of reciprocity, but I don't know. It's TSM. I
mean-
haven't seen anything about TSM that can beat a reciprocity.
I mean,
That look
I just say it like this too. Yeah, Dignitas lost to NLE, an RS team, but Dig is actually still trending upwards, where Rec is kind of trending downwards still. And on top of losing to RS teams, it's like, are we going to see
Well,
improvement?
let me ask you that. Even though they're trending downwards, is it still so much down that they lose to TSM?
Possibly.
Yeah,
I mean,
take a game.
Would
Have you
TSM
seen,
lose
like,
to the same
no
RF team?
way.
I mean, did you
Chrome?
guys see the TSM and Mouse series? It was really competitive. Like TSM actually looked like they were doing some right things here and there.
But can they do it again?
Kept it pretty close. Let's see why not. I mean, they got nothing else to lose, right? They're already bottom half of the RS or RLCS and have a chance to get relegated. So why not? They have to go for broke.
I don't know. You see things like Remco's been tweeting. It sounds like they're absolutely done. You know, don't give a toss anymore. And I think that
Fair.
Rec have more to play for. So I just can't see like TSM unless they just play ball chase, which is like, when is TSM ever going to play ball chase online ranked meta? Then I think Rex, it's a 3 or a 3-1. I just
could see
can't
3-1.
see a TSM that cares.
I could see 3-1 at best.
All right, 3-1 Rec.
I'm happy.
3-1.
that
Jahzo, you okay with that?
Yeah, I'm say 3-0, so Chrome's game 5 can be balanced out.
I'm not saying TSM's good, guys. I'm not liking what I'm seeing from Rec right now.
That's fair.
So gotta have the flip side of the conversation.
Well, because I was gonna say, do you think TSM would lose to those same RS teams that Rec loses to?
Oh, of course.
Because that's, I mean, not like you can really draw like who's better than who based on other teams they played, but still an easy comparison to do.
For me, it's hard to like be convinced that Rec's gonna 3-0, or something like that, because they haven't looked good either. So,
And that's why I can't give them a 3-0. I don't think it's possible. I do think that both defensive play styles, like Rec handles it better. I just do not see TSM recreating what they did against Mouse.
yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, that's fair.
I think this was a little bit tougher to pick. Singularity endpoint.
Yeah, this is to avoid bottom 2 pretty much, or
Yeah.
bottom 3.
This is the tiebreaker match. This is a really big deal.
I have endpoint here.
I'd agree to that.
Oh, yeah.
Singularity, man, they just seem to have like fallen apart recently. They look all over the place on defense.
We saw glimpses against a really sloppy Vitality with that they won, but I haven't seen anything that's like notable. It's because I've been asleep, but
Yeah, I don't know. I still have faith in Singularity.
I mean-
They,
I was gonna say something about not being asleep because staying up till 8 a.m. But yeah, whatever.
and then those
Singularity's
Monday,
a
Sunday
boss
mornings,
at a game
man.
5.
Okay. So if we're talking about Singularity, direct comparison, Singularity beat Vitality, even though Vitality had
Yeah.
to sub in Mount in game 5. Singularity wasn't that Singularity, or am I being dumb?
Yeah, I
No,
think
Yeah, they
it
beat-
was in online. And
They
beat
beat
him in
Vitality
league.
twice, yeah.
Like in RLCS and in TEI.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, I think Endpoint has a better record at this point, but I have a feeling that Singularity might have a higher ceiling. than
Endpoint also has a warm up game though against Dig.
I mean, as well
against
as like,
Dig though. So their warm up game is what gonna be them getting smacked by Astral.
but it's that's a good way to wake up. like,
I mean,
wake
both
up
teams
or
are
get
very
tilted?
they're
They got
very
no-
familiar with each other too.
and they have nothing to lose there too. Like, Endpoint knows they're not going to win that series. Like, they can go all out, play carefree, do their thing, get warm, feel comfortable, and then they come in against Singularity, a must win, and they're like, all right, we're ready to go. Let's do this.
Hopefully, they have a coach for that reason.
Yeah. Fingers crossed, man.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I could give it
I
to
like
you guys.
Singularity.
You like
You
Singularity?
like Singularity?
I was gonna say,
Very true.
kind of convinced me you could like Endpoint.
Oh, the thing with Endpoint too is like they're a relatively new team, and they came up with Singularity, and when Endpoint played in RS, they dominated pretty much every team in RS, and Singularity I think was one of those teams. And
That's true.
I just feel like that playstyle is very similar, but I feel like I see more out of Endpoint than I do Singularity nowadays.
Yeah.
That's
I
why I
think-
personally like Endpoint.
I think Endpoint has made the adjustment. Like, Endpoint either wins as a team or they lose as a team. Singularity is too reliant on someone like Nolly popping off. Like, Endpoint has proven to me that as a collective, they can get shit done. While Singularity has moments, and those moments only happen if one player is like really vibing. I'm gonna take the teamwork over. I'd rather have a team that's solid, that plays clean. Because when mistakes happen, at least you have someone to back you up. Singularity doesn't have that, from what I've seen. That's why I go endpoint.
So Chrome, Lawler, endpoint,
Mhm.
CJ, singularity. Now, for chat's benefit, I could totally say singularity, and we go do a straw
Let's-
poll and see if
let's
it
go
ends
endpoint
50-50.
three.
Do it.
Two.
Just do it.
No, straw poll.
Endpoint 3-2.
Singularity 3-2.
All I'm saying
We're
is the
doing
last
straw
two people in chat agree with me. So, heck you.
poll. The two. We had 250 people in chat.
Hey, man. At least someone said something in backing me. I don't see anybody backing you, Jahzo.
Well, it's because I'm doing the straw poll.me.
What was that stupid thing we did in the video the other night? Where we were just like,
For anyone that is unaware, you can watch one of Lawler's upcoming YouTube videos.
I think that's the one that posted today. I don't remember. They all
today's
blur
video.
together nowadays, man.
I say we move on.
Yeah.
Let me spam this a few times.
We let
We'll
chat.
backtrack. We'll
let us
backtrack. We'll move
know.
on to Veloce Dig. We'll
Yeah,
backtrack. after the straw
we'll
poll.
come back to why Jahzo's wrong later. All right.
That's fine.
Dig Veloce.
Man, what happened to Veloce? They got absolutely obliterated by Mouse.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus. At their own style.
Yeah, what was their score line?
At that.
1-0.
It was a 3-8.
Yeah, it was a 328 OT in game 1, 5-1, 3-2. I mean, it was close. except for
Cooks
game
and
two.
Speed were going off. Like,
Yeah.
Cooks was scoring everything. Speed was setting up everything.
Dude, it was so nice to see them exploit that defense. Like,
Yeah.
Cook's half rotating to just be there for another shot and stuff.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Perfect example.
Loved it.
They're just using, like, Mouse were doing a good job of using a space provided because Veloce never challenges.
hmm
And it's so easy to exploit for that reason alone.
Yeah, I was pretty happy about that one.
You could do.
And
I'm
yeah,
just-
Dig lost to Vitality, but like Dig still looked good, even with like a few mistakes in the
It was
series.
a good series.
Yeah, it was a really good series, back and forth. I like Dig here. I can't bet against them, man. They look like a Worlds team. They look like a team that could win Worlds, honestly.
They also
Veloce obviously doesn't.
they're also a team that has more than one play style to me. Like, they can make changes and
They
adjustments.
can adjust, yeah.
If Veloce plays not their play style, they're in trouble. Like, you figure out how to beat that play style, you win.
And even with Dig, if you have two players down and out, you got Astro to 1v3 pretty much. I mean, that's what happened in like I think
Yeah.
2 of the weeks that they won their series.
It's true.
Astro would just solo carry. But like I like everything about Dig. I like their work ethic. I like everything that they, their goals.
So, if Dignitas provides life, and in CJ's words, Veloce sucks out life from Rocket League, is this series actually worth watching?
The
CJ?
world is in balance.
Yeah, 100%. This is like the yin and yang. This is offense versus defense. Who wins out? And I hope offense wins out for the sake of the European scene, so people can go, hey, maybe we can play offense. Please, Dig, win.
I think this is gonna force Veloce to go for the ball a lot more because
Mm.
Dig loves to play defensive teams from what I've seen. Especially they got to warm up with endpoint. I just feel like they're gonna be hot, super hot, and they're just gonna come out and smack them.
Was it
left and
the Veloce Barcelona game where Veloce moved up and was like playing aggressive and making passes?
Veloce,
Was it Barca?
yeah, or
I think-
Mouse.
No, because it wasn't Mouse because they got smacked last week.
It's not like the singularity.
Oh,
match.
sorry, I mean Rec.
Veloce Rec, but Rec's still a very defensive team, so I'm not
Yeah.
surprised.
No, I think Rec came forward in that series and Veloce won.
Yeah, but then the thing with Rec
Yeah.
is when they get that offense and nothing happens, they tend to retreat back and not challenge the midfield. So then Veloce got a lot of their pass plays off on the counterattack.
Like, they made things happen on offense. I want to see that Veloce at the beginning. I want to see them pressure. I want to see them push forward. Like, actually make Dig work for it. Because if you pack the box, like,
You have to challenge Jake. You cannot allow them
dude,
to do
Astra's
whatever
gonna
they
have a
want.
field day if you don't.
Yeah. You got to contest them.
What are we thinking?
Dig 3-2.
Dig 3-1 for me.
Dig 3-1.
Hate to break it to you, Jahzo, but it's 3-1.
It's fine with me. I was giving Veloce a little bit extra doubt or benefit of the doubt.
I think it'll be close.
Because I'm
Like-
also hoping, like everything you guys said, I'm just resonating with. I was kind of quiet for us talking about that series, but yeah, I just like Chrome. I hope that Dig's offense beats out Veloce's defense
Mhm.
for the sake of the team. Exactly like you said.
Yeah.
It's like
Endpoint with 3 more votes. 3-2 endpoint.
also the Twitch poll. I did both straw poll and Twitch poll. Endpoint did end up winning, barely.
Win's a win. We take those.
Yep.
Suck it.
Close one though, so 3-2. Definitely game 5.
Damn, that two's fancy.
Yeah, you
I
got
like
that
it. A little suave.
little cutback.
Skirt.
Cool.
Barcelona, Monaco, Barcelona.
Barcelona.
3-1 or 3-0.
W. I mean, it doesn't really matter for AS Monaco season, does it?
I
Yeah,
don't
they
think it really does
secured
matter.
they secured promotion relegation.
I mean, they could play the upset and try to get their win because they're gonna still want to get a win. They don't want to go 0-9. They don't want to be that first team in RLCS history to go to 0-9. So
Yeah.
Didn't
Didn't.
go 0-7?
Oh,
Well,
Oh,
0-9
so-
is first.
Oh,
First time
09.
for everything, you know?
09. I was thinking just first or first unwin,
winnable.
Words.
winless.
unwin.
Unwin.
Don't you hate
Unwinnable.
when you
First
unwin sometimes?
season.
Unwin.
I love that.
What's the
Nah,
what are we going?
3-0.
3-0.
3-0, yeah.
Yeah, sweep.
I think we'll see a lot of offense out of Monaco.
I think
since
Devo
Barcelona's
is going to
very
have a
defensive
hell of a
heavy.
series.
Yeah.
I think Devo's gonna have fun in this one.
I do see Monaco on offense a lot, but I just feel like the rotation and everything about them is just terrible.
How many flakes clears are we gonna get for goals?
I'm excited about this next series,
ooh.
though.
The last game of
Probably
the day is a spicy one.
Might be match of the
Scrub.
week for you.
Yeah. Match of the week.
Vitality Mouse.
I like Vitality here.
I mean, same.
I only like Vitality in a game 5, and that's because how solid they play. It's not like super breakout.
Still not sold on Mouse. I don't know.
The thing
how
on
they're gonna
Mouse
play.
is like the player performances are so inconsistent. Like
Mhm.
Speed popped off this, Monday I think it was against Veloce, but then he's just like hit or miss every other time, and then Cux needs to be involved, but then he just sits back the whole time, and then Scrub just ends up chasing and trying to do his own thing. Vitality, they it seems like they're working together better, playing a lot better as well.
I mean, also in the solo play sense, if Fairy Peak pops off like he did in yesterday's match against Dig, then he's gonna just obliterate Mouse's defense.
Yeah.
As long as we all remember what Fairy Peak did yesterday,
Fairy Peak
got
did
some
whatever
crazy
he
goals.
wanted.
Yeah.
and that's basically what I'm
think-
scared of for Mouse.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Vitality's a safe pick. Like, it's just they've shown that they're just a good team. They're gonna, you know, what you're gonna get from them. They'll clutch it up. Mouse can be incredible. We've seen like glimpses of that. We've also seen them play terribly, like Speed not being able to hit the ball. I think we'll get a good Mouse because, as everyone's saying, like Scrub's going to be motivated, and a Scrub that's motivated is a scary thing. But yeah, it's just like,
He's
are
at
you
the
hoping
detriment of his
Mouse play
teammates, though.
well? Yeah.
We need to
Are
see
you
the
hoping
Mouse that
play
came
well,
against
or-
Dig when they started off strong, got that 2-0, and then got reverse swept. They're gonna do that against Vitality because Vitality reverse swept the hottest team in EU, Dig. So you need to see Mouse come out firing on all cylinders and not looking out slow and inconsistent. They want to have a chance.
They have to close this out quick, or Vitality's gonna heat up. Because that's what we've seen a lot from Vitality. Is like they may start a little bit slow and they let a couple things in, but when they start feeling good, like it's almost as if they can do no wrong. Especially if Fairy Peak keeps playing the way he did, like you said, Jahzo. Like he was scary.
Like I want to say this game goes to game 5, but I don't think it's like a 3-1 for Vitality.
CJ, what do you think?
3-1. Yeah, 3-1 Vitality.
I can't go less than a game 5, but I think Vitality wins the 5th game. I'm actually fully expecting a reverse sweep.
I have Vitality as well. I think they're trending in the right direction. They keep showing me things that I'm really happy about.
Yeah, big
Who do
thing,
you
big
who do you
thing.
guys think are going to be the key factors for Mouse? Like if Mouse wins, who is it because?
Scrub
Speed.
has to have a solid defensive rotation, and Speed has to have the balls to
Hit the
be
ball.
risky on offense. And
Speed's a wild card for me, always on Mouse. Vitality
Cooks.
could really be anyone.
yeah,
I think that's why I go Vitality,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
yeah.
You guys want a 3-1 or
Speed needs to
3-2?
be
Do we want to give the bias and just hope it's an exciting game 5?
You can give it a game 5, whatever. That's fine.
As long as vitality, doesn't matter. We'll still count it as a dub if they win.
Yeah.
We'll put a little asterisk with this with a tiny little one. You guys can't even see it.
Yeah, we got like a little W or a little
All right.
2 to the power of 3.
Yeah. Let me screenshot that.
I guess Mavs are winning 8 games in a best of 5.
Yeah, they're really good.
Poggies.
Boom.
Oh,
I-
bye chat. Bye. Never mind. All right. Well,
NA.
NA. Forgot about NA.
How could you forget about NA? This one should actually be
Ignore
pretty
for
easy.
me, Wicca.
This should
it's. I mean, forgetting about A is kind of easy, seeing as how we think RLCS was just yesterday.
true.
It's really weird having RLCS on a Monday.
Are we gonna recap OC for?
We'll get
I
there.
saw game 5.
We always TLDR that at the end.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
CJ's.
right.
We'll save that for the end because it's a good way to lead into prediction or into QA. We got some
That's
really
when
good QA
CJ
questions this week.
That's when CJ stops daydreaming about Slither and wakes up.
Week 7, baby. Let's go.
Slither coma. All right. Game 1, Cloud9 Sonics.
Sonics are trending in the right direction, but unfortunately for them, Cloud9 trended really highly in one series, and it happened to be the very last series they played.
I can't bet against a team that's minus 81 and somehow is 5-1. Like
I
have
saw
Sonics
saw
here.
them play good once. That's not enough. No.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
No.
Sonics is.
And Sonics wins whether it's dirty or ugly or whatever, they still get wins, and you have to give them that.
Yeah, hard agree. Hard agree, but I think Cloud9.
Stylistically, this is good for Cloud9. I will say that. They're gonna have
If
a
you think
lot of
about it
people to work
too,
with.
Cloud9 is a team that wants to outpace teams, and they're going to be able to do that with Sonics.
Right.
But it's going to come down to communications and when they are on defense, not to double commit, hopefully. So this is Cloud9 series to win. Like, it isn't like, Sonics is for sure going to win this 100%. Like, this is everything Cloud9 wants against a team. Because if you watch every other series that they've ever lost, they always get outpaced.
Yeah.
And with energy, they're able to, keep the same pace on top of playing well, which is nice. This could go either way, but yeah, I can't bet against Sonics, man.
I can see Sonics handling C9's pressure really well, especially doing well in midfield. I can see Sonics cutting off a lot of Cloud9's trademark infield and mid passes, and just getting some good counterattacks, which is what they've been doing all season. And if they're going to be able to do that, and that's what they're good at, then it just lines up, and I think they win.
If it wasn't for the Energy G2 series at the end of the day, I could see Shock already locking in MVP this week again.
Yeah, they play Flight.
I think Shock is going to be a wall on defense.
Yeah.
Sonics
Sonics
3-1.
3-1,
Maybe
3-2.
3-2. Maybe they got that clutch. They always win game 5, Sonics. So let's go 3-2 Sonics.
It's going to be Shock, Game 5 OT winner. Has to be, right?
Yeah. He's a freak.
I want to see Cloud9
It's
realize
put up or shut
how-
up right now with Cloud9.
Yeah. They have so
So-
much. They're gonna have space to work with, and maybe Sonics realizes that they're like, "Hey, they play fast. We need to make sure we control boost," and we see different Sonics. But as of right now, like Cloud9's gonna have space and boost to work with. Let's see them actually use it and use each other. Everybody. Gimmick, I'm looking at you.
Let me go and watch this show.
God, if I look back to Cloud9, man, I just think like this is the type of
Sure.
team they want to play against. A slower
Yeah.
team. Cloud9 gets to do whatever the hell they want on offense.
Two
But
seasons
Sonics,
ago,
they just have their transitions down, which is nice about them.
2 seasons ago, this is a team Cloud9 would have farmed.
Mm-hmm. Well,
You're not going to give Rose-
CLG.
Oh,
Hmm?
that feels bad.
Last time Dapper played C9 in league play, he beat him.
That's true, but that same
That same
season-
team outpaced Cloud9. And this team's very defensive.
True.
I kind of jumped the gun on this next prediction, but it's because Space Station's playing Rogue.
Not even one game for Rogue. It's Rogue late season, man. It's
Rogue's
Rogue
looking
late
good
season
right now. That's why.
I don't care.
I don't know if it'll be a 3-0, but
I think you guys are going to run through them.
See, the problem is you said it's SSG, but then my argument, direct counter, is it's SSG, specifically AXB.
Arsenal's in chat. Apparently, he's been watching Haikyuu. That boy's got to be more motivated than he's ever been in his life.
what do you mean it's AXB though? Because he's been our MVP for the whole season.
I think
Turns
Arsenal's
out-
just going to demos like crazy.
Clutch factor.
I guess that's true. Arsenal.
I
demo
think
everybody.
Arsenal's going to demo this team like crazy.
No, what about First Killer?
It's one person. I'm not worried.
What about Kronovi breakout performance? What about Wonder?
You keep
Brick
saying
Wall
things and it just
Johnson.
keeps sounding more and more sarcastic. like, I
What
can't.
about
like CJ's
Wonder
holding back a
Brickwall
laugh?
Johnson?
Like, I don't know.
what
man.
about what about
what about whatting about? like that's
What
pretty much what I'm getting out of you
about-
right now.
what about?
I'm just
Safe
curious
Haven
what
Sweeping
the.
Rogue?
I just want to know why he trashed on AXB. That man's been clipping.
Yeah, he's
Because
been
HP
playing
trash
He's been
talks me,
absolute-
man.
AXB jokes with everyone. He's just a troll.
Yeah, but he's also a troll.
well. Real talk. Do we want to give Rogue a game or not?
I think it could be a close
If
series.
you're that
personally.
confident in SSG, I'm okay with you giving it a sweep.
I'll give it a
I want
3-1.
to sweep.
But I'll give it a 3-1. But I don't.
Okay.
You can say 3-1 in the official picture, but for the record, at least half of the CJ show gave them the sweep.
Yep.
So if they end up sweeping, you can claim
It's
you
on
got
the
the
internet.
hard read.
It's out there forever.
Yep.
Sonic's Flight. Flight put up a fight. It wasn't like super easy for Space Station last week, but honestly, I don't even know if I want to watch this one. I'm just gonna get frustrated watching this probably.
If Flight regress into Rapid not knowing what to do with the ball, then it's gonna not be fun because Sonics are just gonna hold the midfield. Rapid's gonna give the ball, and Sonics are gonna counterattack and win the series.
Sonics is gonna win because I just don't see anything from Flight's offense scoring on them.
True.
I am liking
go
Flight
Sonics.
challenging everything too,
Mm-hmm.
but I just don't trust their defense at all.
No.
And then Sonics can match their pace and outplay them as well. The Sonics usually never tends to overcommit ever. I don't think I've ever seen him overcommit.
How many games have we given Flight?
One at most.
On.
I'd agree to that.
Rapids wearing my zombies is the funniest thing. Honestly, it's just like every time they play. Hang on a minute. Rapids got my zombies on. I think that's so funny.
3-1.
I swear, whenever I watch Rapid play, I don't know if he thinks about what he's doing. Some of the stuff he does.
0.
3-0, 3-1. What do you guys think?
3-1, 3-1.
3-1.
I'll give Flight a game.
See how easily Chrome sways me?
We got the perfect one. Let's go. We did it.
Let's go,
Holy-
baby.
Look
Taking
how
after
clean
your-
that is, bro. It's a
That's
long
pretty
boy,
good,
too.
bro.
That's a long boy.
Oof.
Get him. Shall we
Let's
take
go,
those?
baby.
Go
That's
C9.
good
Go
vibes.
C9. 3-1 Ghost.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah, I think Ghost.
3-1. 3.
Ghost is going to outpace Cloud9, and it's going to be fun.
I think it'll be a very competitive series.
3-1 Ghost, except if Cloud9 beats Sonics.
We can't have these. We just need to.
Yeah, we already predicted Cloud9 will lose.
Bruh. All right.
3-1.
They're going to put
Yeah,
so
3-1
much
Ghost.
effort into losing to Sonics that they're going to be deflated, and Ghost wins 3-1.
I mean, if Cloud9 were to beat Sonics, I'd have him beat him Ghost too, but
Yeah.
we don't have that. I think
If
Ghost.
Cloud9
Oh,
beat
back to
Ghost,
back.
it means
Let's go, Jahzo.
Wait.
Let's go.
oh my
I'm
god.
killing it. I'm killing it right
If
now.
if Cloud9 beat
Steady hands,
Ghost,
baby,
it
steady
means that
hands.
Cloud9 is a better team than G2. Is that right, Jahzo?
The big triangle.
He's-
Didn't I just say earlier this show that we can't trust a triangle, buddy?
Can't trust a
we
triangle.
can use it as a comparison, but we can't trust it. You know?
I'm just going to
True.
start using the shape tool chat. I heck you all. Don't make fun of my zeros.
Just use the text.
PK EU. Surely PK is better team than EU right now. I haven't seen anything from EU that
Surely,
gives me
I
any
think
confidence.
this might be more even than you think it is.
I think this one's gonna be
Really?
super even. Yeah.
Yep. I guess Gyro might have left chat by now, but I don't know how affected he's going to be by it. But I'm pretty sure PK and EU are pretty even right now.
Yeah.
I
PK
don't know.
doesn't have like the
This will be
the
a sweat
work
fest.
together
I agree with
aspect.
Karma. This will be sweaty.
I like PK 3-1 here personally. I don't see anything out of United. I feel like PK, they have just a major flaw in their rotation, I guess, or who goes for the ball in offense, but that's something you can fix right away. United are all over the place in terms of kickoff, defense,
True. And I also think PK
teamwork.
looks as bad as they did because they got things got exploited. Like, we know Rogue has potential. We've seen it. You guys talk about it in scrims all the time. While like United just, I don't know if they're going to be able to punish those mistakes as heavily.
United is so weird. They go from like 3-0 in Cloud9, 3-0ing Rogue, and then just flop. Where
Well-
PK, they show their potential against like teams like Energy and stuff like that. It could be somewhat competitive against us and G2.
I only have this going to game 5, nothing less. And you can't convince me otherwise.
Luckily,
PK 3-2 then.
All right, PK 3-2 then. if you
I'm
want
done
to
for
go
that.
Yep. I think PK does have the edge, but I can't see anything less than a game 5.
All right, the one we've been waiting for.
No, I can't even speak anymore.
That's why we've been
Two
waiting
teams
for it.
that played terribly last week. Not
Oh,
terribly.
you
kidding,
Actually,
Jahzo?
G2 didn't play terribly.
We'll talk path later. Don't worry. We'll make up for it. Energy G2. Ooh.
Let me start by
Yeah.
saying both teams lost last week. G2 played pretty, actually not bad, and they still lost. However, NRG played bad and still lost, which means that NRG have more room for improvement, which means that NRG is going to win this series.
And PK were competitive against Energy. I mean, this is stylistically, this is a match G2 wants. Energy seem to, get outpaced a lot. And if you can match their speed, they make a lot of mistakes on the defensive end. They start panicking. I feel like it's up to Justin to really 1v3 here, personally. Like, he needs to just completely destroy G2, force G2 on the defensive end. Because that's where G2 makes a lot of their mistakes. I like G2 here, personally.
I will point out we haven't beat Energy since Season 4 in League Play.
Well, no, you're definitely not going to do it because you got to, you got that stigma.
I mean, JNX is the one that pointed it out in chat. It's not my fault. It's my teammate's fault.
Jahzo, there's always that chance of changing it. You got this.
I mean, they're beatable. I mean, they lost to us and lost to Cloud9, whereas they usually never lose to anyone. So, and they were competitive with PK. PK is looking pretty bad in comparison to all the other teams.
So I agree with CJ. I don't think Energy can look much worse. They made that entire series, Chrome, with when we were talking, is there was so many things that were just uncharacteristic with their touches. Just bad. Maybe it's because they're not as motivated because there's no LAN. I don't know. Maybe the regional thing hit them. But them losing, I think, as Gibbs calls it, a quality loss. It happened to Cloud9, right? A team that is bottom 3 right now. That's the best time for it to happen. And hopefully that makes them realize, you know what? It isn't free. We're 4th right now. So I think it's more of a wake-up call for Energy. Plus, they respect you guys as a team. You guys have a lot of history. I mean, these are the ones that, as a fan, you don't really care the result. You just are happy that you get to watch it. So,
yeah.
But who wins? I personally would have to probably go with Energy. Just because a motivated Energy is, to me, one of the scariest teams in the world.
I just don't see G2 completely regressing to last season. I mean, last season they played a red hot Energy.
5. No matter what, it's going to 5.
Yeah.
I hope. That or it's 1 goal game difference in a 3-1. There's no way it's a sweep.
This Energy is just not they're not like last season where they're just destroying everyone. They're not red hot. They've been going competitive with literally almost every team.
Mm-hmm.
maybe it's a motivation factor, I guess, because there's no LAN, which is understandable.
Yeah.
I like G2 here because I just feel like they're trending up still, even just because they lost to Ghost. Still think that they figured out something and it can, exploit energy on a lot of defensive end stuff.
Apparently, we beat Energy in season 6.
Close.
I mean,
What's up?
Apparently, we beat them in season 6 too. So
the
you
thing
did.
I think, and this I hate that I have to say this because he's here, but I think one of the big benefits for G2 here is that they do have Jahzo. Like,
what?
King Jahzo.
because like I know you're going to be prepping the boys for this game. I can't say the same about Sizz. I don't think Sizz is going to literally do anything for them. Like, this is going to be solely up to Energy as a team wanting to win. Like, it's up to Turbo, Garrett, and Justin.
I just feel like G2 wants it more than Energy personally, as well.
Which I can totally respect that. I totally understand that. Like, I'm not trying to shit on Sizz. I just know he's there for mental. That's it. Like, he's not game planning. He's not going over replay now. Like, there's no way. So I think you guys are going to come in better prepared than Energy, and I can totally understand where Chrome's coming from.
I just want to say real quick before you overhype me too much. Going in better prepared at NRG is not just me; it's a team effort.
Well, yeah,
I'm not
but I
trying
know,
to go
but like
across the
having
board.
that like third party, that like that nice warm blanket, it's just, I think the mentality is going to be more there as like a team, like as a unison.
I don't know. I can't see the comparison of G2 and Energy while they both look bad. I don't think G2 really looked bad yesterday. Like, Ghost looked really good, and G2 finally met their match in a team. Whereas Energy, like, they almost lost the PK, and they relied heavily on Justin's shoulders. And then obviously got destroyed by Cloud9, which was a surprise to all of us.
I mean, they beat themselves too.
Yeah.
But you look at it the other way, Chrome, is like the only time
Oh, yeah, they
lost is
wanna
when
win.
played
Yeah.
bad. When G2 have lost when they've played pretty good. So
Oh,
is that saying that if NRG is playing good, they can't lose? Like, there's still that sort of factor. Although it's been close series, they've always won.
Yeah.
And the only time they lost was when they literally couldn't hit the ball. I don't know. NRG losing 2 weeks in a row is just something that it's hard to fathom.
I think you have to get rid of the fact that
thing.
it's 2 weeks in a row and understand that it's against G2
Mm.
in a very weird season. Like,
I'm gonna interject. Someone in chat said something about our internet. We're gonna be on new internet by Saturday.
I think we could talk about this one from multiple angles all night. So what I'm going to do is we're going to rapid fire this one. CJ, who wins scoreline?
NRG 3-2.
Chrome?
I want Energy to win, but I think G2 is going to win 3-2.
Jahzo, being realistic.
I can't. Not allowed.
3-0 G2. My name's Jahzo.
Well, he's not allowed to predict his own team, so it's
I'm
fine.
not allowed. We're not. We've established this.
Lawler, you're split.
Fuck, I hate being the decider for this.
What do you mean the split? You both said NRG.
No, I
No, I said
No, he
G2.
said G2.
You said
CJ
G2.
Energy.
You said Energy.
Oh.
Where's
Oh,
my-
Chrome said he wants us to lose.
I want you to lose, but I
Because
think
you want to
gonna
have a
win.
better chance of top 2.
Exactly. Well, I think you're going to win.
Top 2 means so much less.
Heads or
That's why it
tails?
sucks.
I mean, the
Energy-
top 4 you get
Energy
money,
3-2.
I guess.
That's what I got. I flipped
Alright.
the coin.
I think NRG are embarrassed with how they played last week, and I can't see them doing that again. And I think that it's been building over the last few weeks, so I hope this is wake up call week.
That's what
for
I got.
them.
I flipped a
So
coin. I think it's
okay.
game 5. It's gonna be really good.
Now that it's decided, do not sleep on the wake up call that was the Ghost G2 series.
I'm not.
I mean, hopefully
Good
Energy's
save.
not sleeping that they just got swept by Cloud9. Like,
I mean, if we're going to talk about history, whenever Energy lost multiple matches in league play, they tend to always lose more, They
yeah.
always were that team that just stayed in 4th and then do well in regionals. I don't know. They're a team that is really emotional, too, in my opinion.
Apparently Sathu's naked. I didn't know someone could celebrate so hard after seeing us predict him to win both. Jesus.
Look at that.
Calm down, bro.
He's so
Like,
excited.
He's like, they finally believe in us. Now watch them go 0-2. Like, it's gonna
I
happen.
don't know. Like I've seen Justin pop. I haven't seen Garrett do much this season. Turbo's been scoring
Yeah, that's
turbo
true.
goals, but Garrett has not done anything really for me this season that I've watched. So I'm
Yeah.
waiting to see him pop off, and he's just like a cage lion if he goes berserk. So
And
We'll
Turbo's
have to
usually
see.
the worst player in league play, or one of the worst, and then he's always that reliable land player. But he's like their best
Yeah.
player.
Reliable
you
pool
wanna go into-
goals.
You want to go into hard analytics?
No.
not really.
Hear it. That was grinding for 8 seasons.
What was
Gator,
that,
a player
Jahzo?
that was grinding for 8 seasons, made every single world, didn't win a single one until 8th. Comes season 9, lacks the motivation, especially after not even being able to go to the 9th worlds and defend his title. Turbo, winning 3 worlds in EU, moving regions, winning worlds on his very first season on an NA team, lacking motivation. Justin, who's never really had motivation anyways, he's kind of just a robot who plays,
Yeah.
almost like Sipical. The whole team now doesn't have a chance to defend their title. I'm almost worried for the rest of their season.
I mean, you could argue that with every team though. Like there really is nothing to play for if you already secured top 6, other than money. Obviously, there's like no secret land happening, or hopefully there is.
Lathamir, we'll get to it. And
can argue
Q&A.
that for
It's a
every
good
team.
question though.
With you guys, I can argue, yeah, it's motivation to obviously be the best team in the world because of your last season performance. Where energy, obviously, yeah, you are right in that sense that they already won it all. There's no land. Who cares? You make a good point there for that reason.
All right,
That's why I personally have you guys winning as well.
we'll see what happens. It's gonna be a good
You
one.
got something
It's
to
gonna be
prove
a
where
great
energy.
match.
We'll
I
all be
always
awake for it.
playing
It'll be great.
It better be a good match, please.
Yeah.
We don't want to see another 3-0 like Cloud9
Chrome
3-0.
better be in comms with us for that one.
Please do
If
that.
we don't lose to Rogue, yeah.
No,
Dude,
go in anyways.
I'll be-
for me.
dude, watch it
No.
as a fan, man. That's just a game you watch as a fan.
Listen,
I get really upset after losses. So
Thanks, Legal. Just start
we'll
it.
see.
Just play on one monitor and have the stream up on the other monitor and just say random stuff.
Yeah.
Pretend like you know what you're talking about. For me. Thank you.
We'll see.
All right. So, next up, we're gonna have our Q&A. But before we do that, CJ is gonna give us a speed round of all things OCE. Also, someone has been mentioning it in chat, and I do want to say it. Sam, it is their last week already. It's coming down to the wire. Keep your eyes on that.
Welcome to OCE, ladies and gentlemen, the premier region. I'm glad we finally
CJ
got there, getting over these.
CJ, you can't talk above your mic.
See, we also need some sort of graphic to show OC matches.
I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
I trust.
What is this? NA
Arsenal says
production?
ill OCE, but I see him in the Twitch chat. He hasn't missed a single week of OCE.
Who?
Thank you so much, Arsenal, for your continued support of the region.
Thank you, Arsenal.
Wait, does he watch? Really?
No.
He watches
Anyway, so
his segment.
Week 3, we started off with Renegades vs Esbar. This was a very close series. There was 4
Oh, shoot.
overtimes, and we won in Game 5 overtime. We let in 4 kickoff goals. So, yeah, fix our kickoffs. Awesome. Next one, Ground Zero, 3 at Fury. They look really good. Overt swept Cringe Society. The upset of the century. The OCE super team, Cringe Society, Drippe, Torsos, and Spidos lost to Overt 3-0. That is Misty Zen. So Zen beat Tors, the old teammate, the old flame, 3-0. So very interesting. Mindfreak beat Canberra Havoc 3-1. And they are the only undefeated team now in league play. That is Mindfreak. That is Requiem. If anyone remembers him from Ground Zero, Ghost, and Fever. And into week 4, we've got Cringe Society versus Ground Zero. Match of the week,
Ooh.
game 1. 2 potential. Well, like it's not even like, what is it? Worlds contenders now. It's just two contenders to win.
Best of OCE
Two
contender.
OCE boys. That's all it is now.
Two
OCE boys.
OCE boys playing off. That'll be a good game. Esper, Mindfreak, that'll be a good series as well because Esper's looking pretty strong. They beat Ground Zero, took us to game 5, and Mindfreak's undefeated. So that'll be a great series. We're playing Fury. Hopefully should get the dub there. I don't think they're 1-2. They beat Over. Okay, so I think we
Coach
should be
Crom, do you
alright.
think they're gonna get the win? I mean, Coach Lawler. Sorry, wrong coach.
I can't talk about my own team like that. Duh, plead the fifth.
Oh, jeez, you're not even a coach, anyways.
Yeah, well, stop calling me coach then.
Oh, I'll call you coach.
Nope.
Even though you're not coach.
I'm not gonna
Even though
answer.
you are coach.
You call me coach, I
Yeah,
don't have
no.
to answer. That's how it works. It's one or the other.
True.
And Cranberry Havoc versus Overt. Cranberry haven't won a game yet. They're 1-9 in game differential, and I can't see them winning that. So they've only won one game for the whole season, like one individual game. So I think that Overt should be good there. And yeah, the season's really starting to take shape. Can't wait to see who takes out the OCE region and makes nothing.
Big OCE boys.
Pepe hands in
Who's
chat,
the best
no
competitor on the top OCE boy?
Who's the most OCE out of all of OCE? The duck the goat, true.
Hey, at least they slipped you a few roll pennies for the prize pool regionals, which is nice.
No,
Yeah,
they promoted
honestly,
them to nickels now. Okay, like
Going back to what should RLCS do? They should give the other 250K from Worlds and just give it straight to OC and Sam.
Thank you. Bless up.
They should split the 500K evenly between all 4 major regions that go to Worlds.
Bless up.
that would be dope.
What's that?
All right, that is done for OC Q&A time. Jahzo, I know you've been getting a bunch, as have I. Would you like to read those off or send those in the chat? I can, if you send them into the Discord, I can still read them.
I would read them. Yeah.
That's fine.
There's only
Can I kick off with this guy in chat? It says, "Hey boys, I just found out I can't play anymore due to Epic dropping support for Mac users. I'm pissed and curious about your thoughts." Okay, mate. It's 2020. If you're still playing Rocket League on a Mac, just get a PC. Get a PC.
Or
Please.
learn to dual boot, get Windows OS, and you'll be okay. If you need help with that, Google. It's pretty easy.
All right, so I'm gonna paraphrase his questions because it's DMs. People like to say a
How many
lot.
DMs did we
when
get?
they're
This
only
is
listening a
great.
little.
There's quite a few.
Be sure to DM.
But yeah,
All right. So
before we
first-
get into those,
Yep.
guys, if you have questions, anybody in chat, feel free to ask those. Tag me in them, and then I will read them as we get to them. We're gonna do this for about 5-10 minutes. We're actually like on time right now. It's going pretty good. I have to sneeze. I'm scared.
Bless you.
Fight it.
Um,
Fight it. But yeah,
Can they
we're
start with
gonna go
questions?
through Q&A from the ones that we have sent in or requested, and then we'll go to you guys. So if we don't get to yours right away, don't worry. We'll get to them sooner than later. So if you have questions, ask them now, and then we'll get to them. Jahzo, go.
What do you guys think of doing a double round robin with a mid-season break of say 2 to 3 weeks where teams can make roster moves?
I feel like you're an idiot if you make a roster move, so you'll just continue to lose anyways. I mean, if 1 month wasn't enough for a lot of these teams in RLCS where they still look hit or miss, I don't think a 2-week period is going to solve those issues for those teams that make changes. They're just going to continue to lose, in my opinion.
I like the concept, but I don't like the timeline that you have set for it.
Yeah.
I think if you broaden this question to asking what do you think of a dual split year,
Mhm.
it's a better application.
Yes.
Happy with that. I'd like that.
Yeah, same.
I think they should go to
I
either
think
that
one
or
world
circuit.
is.
Yep.
I think you cannot argue that the 2 worlds a year is better than one. I think 1 worlds is just peak esports, having heaps of tournaments leading up to it. You know, mid-season, mid-year invitationals, whatever you want, and then a big worlds at the end. Big worlds.
I do think because of the Corona situation, they have an opportunity to get a bigger venue and make it a week-long celebration, like a really big event for season 10/9.5 or whatever you want to call it. I think they could do something really cool for the next World Championship that RLCS has. They just need to make it very grand now that they have all this time to put that into effect. I hope it happens. They need to see it as an opportunity to give us a really, really big event by letting CJ show host the pre-show.
Oh, that'd be
Yeah.
lit. That'd be so. Imagine.
Just guys, just don't worry about winning, and we'll do it anyway. Okay, just forget practice. We'll find a little plastic table, and we'll set up shop live from the middle of the stage. That'd actually be sick.
That'd be great.
I would IRL stream it. It'd be so fun.
Any other notable question?
Imagine that. That'd be sick.
That'd actually be really fun.
we're sitting like in the middle of the stage in between
Yeah.
the two like team setups.
As people are
and
like
they're,
walking in and stuff. Oh, that'd be so cool.
welcome
Yeah.
to World Champs.
With the
right.
OCE boys.
So the second and only other question that is worth asking from the DMs, the other ones we've talked about. It's asking about contracts. Do players and coaches have to put in a certain amount of hours, or does the org not really care as long as you get results?
Most contracts have hours, but they don't follow that. I don't think any org has ever questioned a Rocket League player's hours. I've never heard of that. So I think there's like a team, must be playing a minimum of X hours a week, like 40 or 50 or 60 or whatever. But
If the org is more involved, they'll have the coach be, very strict on the players to put in the time or whatever.
Seems like a general standard is to just rate it based on a full work week, which is 40 hours a week, which is appropriate. If you're trying to treat it like a full-time job, then putting in 40 hours a week.
For the contracts that I've been helping teams look over, requirements are more so for sponsorship activations when it comes to streaming, making sure they hit a certain quota because that's how they get their brand out there. And you see that more often than not. But some players get burnt out faster than others. Some have different routines and schedules, and it's more so a matter of what works best for this player to perform their best of their ability. So I don't honestly see a lot of it being enforced because it can't be a one-size-fits-all. So there's a general understanding of this is just for legality purposes, and so if we see you underperforming, we know that the more you play, probably the better you're going to perform. So we have it in there as a general guideline, but most don't really enforce it because honestly it doesn't work. So
that's pretty accurate.
Plus Typical plays enough hours for everybody. So
True. All right, that's all that's really there from Twitter.
Be sure to DM the show if you think of anything during the week on twitter.com/CJCJ show.
One that I got, this one's a lot for CJ actually, because it pertains to you. What can we expect to happen to Renegades with 7 of their 8 employees resigning because of the CEO? If you guys haven't seen the news, I will post a link in chat.
There was a article about it. So I think that there's, I don't know how much I'm allowed to say about it, but I think there's like it says like one of the investors is keen on maybe like taking over or buying out the company or getting majority share. So I'm not sure. I'm staying out of it. I think you can be assured that we'll be fine. The Rocket League team will be fine. So we're just chilling, and whatever happens. I'm just lying down on my surfboard, and whatever the current takes me, it takes me. We're chilling. Yeah, there's the article there, so you can have a look at that.
That is the article. Basically, for those that don't know, what ended up happening is 7 of the 8 employees of the major employees. Well, okay, step back. Renegades was purchased 2019 by a NBA player, I'm pretty sure, and he brought along his like chief associate of financial whatever.
I think it was 2016. That was a while ago.
Was it that long ago?
Yeah, I thought I
I
remember seeing a video.
It might have been
2019 was when the investor came in, the Beasley.
Yeah, Beasley, where they invested like 8.7 billion or something, like whatever it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, so NBA guy comes in, brings his chief advisor for finance, basically says, finance guy, you're gonna run this. What ended up happening over the last couple of weeks is 7 of the major employees made a pact due to frustrations with directions and the way things are going, that they were no longer going to put up with it. They're trying to make changes. They're being disrespected. So they walked and they left. What actually happens with that? Hopefully it's a wake-up call. Hopefully they understand, like, we're serious. We are the ones that made a run. Looks like a lot of them were wearing multiple hats, because when you were running an esports org and you have 7 or 8 teams in other esports and you have literally an employee per team, that's not including graphical support, social media presence, managing your teams, all that. It has an effect. So hopefully this person recognizes that and makes some major changes for the better, so players like CJ can continue to succeed. Smiley face.
Go to Worlds.
Oh wait.
Aww.
Someone says that surfboard ain't taking you to land. Oh my god.
Ride the wave, baby. Ride
You
the wave.
guys are so toxic. Ride the wave.
Just get Kami to start kicking from behind. He'll make it work. I don't know. All right.
All right.
Question times from chat.
Want to rapid fire these?
Yeah.
'Cause I've seen a lot. A lot of red on my chat.
Do you think that when the next season rolls around, they'll do a basic redo of what the season has been, or make land in Dallas or completely change the location and everything? I can tell you logistically, Dallas probably isn't going to be available. You have to book that stuff out super far in advance. But due to coronavirus, some things may become available. But I can almost guarantee you it'll be a different venue, different location. I just don't foresee them being able to rebook or do stuff because of that. So whether it's going to be just a remake and they're just going to be like, yep, this is still Season 9 World Championships or what, I have no idea what Sonics was planning on doing, man. I have no clue.
I kind of want to do like a whole rebrand. Just get rid of the whole Season 9, Season 10, Season 20, whatever crap. Just change it to Rocket League Championship Series and go from there and then say Worlds.
RLCS
No need to have a number.
Just call
Welcome
it
to the World
Worlds.
Championship.
Yeah, welcome to the World Championship. Rocket League World
I,
Championship.
I'm sick of RLCS, to be honest, and RLRS and shit. I just want
Yeah.
I just want lands and I just want Rocket League Worlds. That's
Oh
it.
yeah, I mean you can completely ditch league play right now. You can
I'm sick of the word
super-
RLCS and RLRS. Just give us lands in the Rocket League Worlds. That sounds so much better than
Imagine
RLCS.
if every Rocket League event you saw was just a dream hack.
I would love it. I would be in heaven.
32 teams. You still get your best of the best, but then you get those underdog Cinderella stories still with open qualifiers. Be pretty
Some
sick.
of them should probably be like a WSOE-esque.
Well,
Not
yeah,
all
you,
of them
you still
have
want
to be
you still want invitationals. Like you still want sprinkled in invitationals for your best performers, but they base that upon the results, which makes every land that much more important.
That would be heaven.
You know, allows your teams in OC and South America and other smaller regions to really like make a name for themselves too, like and to get better as well.
Logistically, it
Actually
takes a
play the
lot of
same
weight
level.
off of Psionics too. It's less they gotta pay for studio time and everything else. They're just there to support the scene. They don't have to be the ones to fly everybody out. That can be put on the tournament organizers. That can, and they can help fund that. They can help support that, but it allows them to delegate. And that's always been the issue. I think a lot of us agree. Sonics needs to be willing to recognize there's people out there that know what they're doing, and they're willing to reach out for that help. DreamHack, I think, proved that. DreamHack's the pro circuit ran really well. Shouts to CJ Link and all the guys at DreamHack that fucking crushed it. D-Pants, you guys know who you are.
Big moves by those guys.
Yep. I'm glad I got to work with them at PAX. I love those boys. Do you see Rocket League having any major mans other thrown the what?
Other mans?
Yeah.
Who's
Do you see
mans?
Rocket League having any major mans other thrown the police? What? That's word for word. I did not read that wrong.
Do you see Rocket League having any other lands besides the Olympics? He got autocorrected. He's on mobile. I just read that.
Other thrown the police. I'm like, what?
Other than the Olympics.
Do you guys see Rocket League having any other major lands other than the Olympics? Currently, no.
Mhm.
Not with Corona.
Not till the end of the year. No.
No.
No,
Sadly, no.
hard no.
Some Dweem hacks at the end of the year, I think, is nearly a certainty, I reckon, because
E-League, please.
they'll
BTS,
be-
maybe an E-League.
How,
Yeah.
This guy that asked the question, how the fuck did you know?
We'll get to that. We'll get to that question later. We'll dive into that.
Okay, buddy.
What is going to happen to the Rocket League competitive scene after RLCS 9 finishes? Man, I wish I had the answer to that. I wish I did.
Something good, hopefully.
Fingers crossed.
I wish I knew for certainty that any events were happening, whether they be online or offline. Feels good, man.
We've discussed this one at length before, but we're going to let Chrome, we'll let you answer this. What do you think of Sonics' playstyle in the long term? Seems like they're just eking out wins. Doesn't seem like a very robust style.
I mean, I will say this. I mean, have we been seeing like crazy demo meta this season? teams pick on, trust me, in Team Scrim, they'll eventually find a way to beat teams like that. And then I'm sure Sonics is aware that they can't, live by that place in the
Spectrum.
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 Look at Chrome's face.
You're good now.
In my
Yeah,
back.
you're good.
Okay.
You're good.
But yeah, I was saying like the whole meta last season was like demo heavy and stuff like that, but you haven't really seen much of it this season. I think Sonics is aware that they need to change in the foreseeable future, which is good that they locked in season 10. I don't think getting minus 81 shots is beneficial and something to live by as a team. I think they really need to, find out their offense, find out their defense a lot better. But I think that teams will catch on and find out how to beat them. And I'm sure a lot of these teams that play them again will have a better chance once they realize they're a team that you have to play once to really understand. And then I don't think they can, do that again personally.
Well said. Dual part question. CJ, I'm going to have you take the first part, and then Jahzo will have you take the second part.
Roger.
First part, do you think Mouse can nab number 1 if they beat Vitality?
Yeah. I think Dig's still the best team in EU, and nothing's really changed that yet. I haven't seen enough from Mouse, but I think Mouse are trending towards the right way. They're just inconsistent. So, yeah.
And part 2, what are the chances C9 somehow goes God tier mode and make top 6?
I've seen Cloud9 pop up before. I doubt that we won't see Cloud9 do it again. Whether or not it'll be this season, the chances of that are relatively low. Cloud9 have shown a lot of weakness in past weeks, and I think upcoming matches for them, their opponents will capitalize. As long as they have a little bit more motivation, I think Energy did, because Energy also looked pretty sloppy. So yeah, pretty low.
Chances of them making top 6? What do you think?
You want me to get an actual percent besides just pretty low?
I mean, do you think it's an actual thing, or is it like, are we talking 50%? Are we talking like
25, 20 to 30, averaged out at 25% chance?
All right, that's fair.
They make top 6. To put a number on it.
That's a repeat.
Ask me again after this weekend's match too,
Yeah, we'll come back to that one.
because Cloud9's a team you want to look out for.
Do you think teams should be making roster moves after Season 9, or do you think the fact that new teams had less time to prepare due to the short offseason and no LAN experience, people should stick together for Season 10? I think for some, yes. For some, definitely not. The main ones are the ones that have already been trying to make those changes. Like Cloud9 needs a roster change, I think. Even if they close out the season strong, I just can't. I can't see that continuing. Some major changes need to happen, and I think after being together for as long as they have, I think you get a similar like Garrett Turbo situation where like Turbo just needs a new team to become motivated and really see their stride. I think Torment needs a new environment really badly. So I think some seeds have already been put in place. Hawks are situation with the United. You can see the results happening there. Cloud9, same situation. But then you look at PK and it's like, is AJ the right move? I think we've seen moments, but those roster changes are going to create a domino effect like they always do. So I think for some teams, yeah, they should definitely stick it out. I think Ghost could be one of those teams that tries to stick it out for another one, but people always look at the short term like this player just plugs in and feels really good right now. Is it worth while we have the chance? What do you guys think?
I feel like with PK, it's more of it doesn't matter who they would have picked up. I think they would have still had the same problems because I feel like even with Mist, they were having the same problems, but Mist was just disgusting as a player, which is why they dominated NA last season. Rogue obviously needed to change. I still think they do need to change, whether it be Kronovi or Wonder off the team. Ghost, I think it needs to change. I don't know, or they need to grow up either or. G2, I don't think needs to change. C9 needs to change, yeah. It's more of a motivation thing too, like with C9. Like those players can all really, amp up, but it just seems like they've already done it all and they obviously got complacent. But you'll still see roster changes for Season 10, personally.
Yeah, and one of those roster changes may cause a lot of other ones to happen just due to availability for certain players. It's crazy.
And part of the question when you first asked it was talking about needed changes and some not needed changes, and I think we're gonna inevitably, if I said that word right,
Inevitably.
inevitably, wrong vowel, unwin, inevitably see teams make roster changes that shouldn't, right? Like PK probably should have kept missed.
Yep.
And I think
Well,
that's just.
I mean, it's
nature.
not. It's
That
not
wasn't
about
their
whether
choice.
it wasn't their choice. It's about whether they want to stick together. It's about like personalities as well. Usually, roster changes happen.
Yeah.
But
And
teams that we think are doing well as is are going to make a change because they see potential for better. But it might not
I mean,
be.
that's the problem too. When you have players in control of roster spots, it's like it's more of a friend thing instead of like wanting to get better. So, like for instance, like Ghost, I don't really think Memory was the right person to drop. In my instance, like I don't think like he deserved to be. Like he performed last season. I don't know. I just think like if you were to give the org more control, you would see less roster changes. I think.
Yep.
Um.
They're also investing more when they do that too.
Yeah, yeah. People need to understand that our scene is really young, so you'll see a lot more roster changes nowadays.
Yeah.
CJ, any thoughts on maybe OC roster changes?
No,
When's
not really.
Hawk?
I'll
When's Hawk?
talk about NA though. What's that?
When's Hawk getting eligible?
He's got a
Nah,
while.
season 11.
Season 11. Okay,
Jesus.
it's another year.
Yeah, he turns 15 in like November, I think you were saying.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll ask you that same question in 6 months.
Okay.
What you think about?
I think as you said though, I think C9 Rogue. And I agree with Chrome about PK. I think they're just still got a lot to figure out. I think that AJ's a harder. He's not going to gel as easy as like a player that's more of a supporting player because he tries. I think he has a sort of set way to play and imposes himself on teams, so they have to like figure out how they work around that and who sort of locks the fort down. And I think they've just got a few positional things to figure out, so I think they'll be fine. But yeah, I think definitely C9 Rogue, and obviously other teams that don't do well, that they're sort of obvious ones if they get relegated, like Flight and maybe United.
We've already answered this one. Do we think Olympics will be canceled due to the Corona? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This also transitions well from what you guys are talking about and what Chrome just said about mindset. What's the mindset for the top teams now that there isn't a LAN? Will the team that wins regionals be considered the best in the region, or no because it's an online tournament? So what's your guys' mindset now that LAN is gone as teams? Like, what is your focus? What is your drive? And then what does that mean?
I mean, for me, like we want to be top two. We want to be that consistent. The new team that's talked about want to be the best in the world. Usually my mindset on things. I want to be the best. I want to be that coach that does good one season and does terrible the next. I want to continue to make my teams better that I coach, and I want to continue to improve. Obviously, there's no LAN. It sucks, but we still want to do well in regionals and close out the season strong.
There's a question here that I don't like, and I don't know if I should ask it because I think the answer is just going to be you guys saying your current teams.
Ace Renegades.
No,
Nice.
which team would you
Okay.
coach if you couldn't coach your own team?
Yeah, just
I mean, I'll give you the mindset of what I think. Personally, what I coach, I see like what I think has potential, like in terms of players, and who wants to improve as well. So, like when I think of like teams that I would want to coach, or if there where was an option, like I would say like Dignitas, G2, possibly Sonics, Energy, just any of like your really top teams, really, because those are the people that really want to improve. Maybe even Ghost. They don't have a coach. They have potential. Just any team that really wants to improve is, and if I see potential in terms of like synergy or play styles or players.
that's fair. Jahzo, do you reciprocate or?
Only in one aspect, and that is coaching a team that wants it. I've always thought it would be cool because, actually, I won't name names, but I always thought it would be cool to find like an almost up and coming team. Like if I lost my job at G2 for some reason or another, finding an up and coming team and really working with them on elevating Rocket League as an esport as a whole, right? Like completely changing the dynamic, not just pulling a Knights and almost looking like they're playing like monkeys and just going super demo heavy and stuff like that, but actually like trying out a super unorthodox way of playing with a team that really wants it and is willing to try. Not saying that would work, but
I like trying to be a trend center.
yeah, just to see if there's another way to play the game that it's not really a possibility now with one of the current teams because either they're so ingrained with how they play or they don't want to try it.
I think the difficulty with that is it's super risky, right? Like if you're trying to, break the curve, you are putting yourself at risk because it may not work initially, which removes you from being that competitive. Like meta's meta for a reason, but I think just as a fan like that, like as a fan of the game, someone who just enjoys theory crafting, that sounds like a fucking blast. I mean, that's what being a caster was for the longest time, is sitting down with my buddies and just sitting there and talking theory about like gameplay and matches. And yeah, I totally understand where you're coming from. But to be able to actually put that into effect to a team that's willing, yeah, that'd be super cool.
That's why it has to be a young team that doesn't have like these G2s, NRGs, SSGs. Like you can really only tweak them so much,
right?
Until they get too uncomfortable. Sure, you can go through drastic changes over longer periods of time, but it's gonna be a lot easier for a fresh team that really could use guidance.
Yeah.
I don't think I could ever coach a fresh team. I feel like it'd be way too much work.
I'd much rather at this point in my career stick with G2, right? Like this is a project I've been a part of for a while. It's hard to see myself doing anything else, but if something happened to G2 or my position in G2, then I would definitely consider.
It's not about being lazy, guys. It's about the fact that, like, when you make a roster or when you play in Rocket League and you're making a team and you're playing with a bunch of nobodies or people you don't really know, you're pretty much gambling whether the type of player they're going to be mentality-wise on top of if they're good enough with each other. So it's like that's unnecessary work as a coach. I'd rather have a team that has potential and then I help make them excel.
One of the main ways of seeing if they have potential is seeing if they already have some results, right? Like
yeah, exactly.
Then clearly they have potential.
Well, even like with my team that I'm coaching now, like they're like one of my first choices when I got the boot from Energy because I see the potential in Typical. He's a disgusting player. Arsenal, I loved what he did on Peeps. I love his play style. And ACV's just a solid player. That's why they're one of my first options. My other option at the time was Barcelona. Like I loved Alpha, I loved Bluey and Devo, and I felt like I could help them out. Obviously, that didn't work out, but yeah, those are like my two choices. I don't want to, go on a sinking ship and, try to coach a team that just doesn't have any motivation. Like, that's why I don't, like, when C9 needs a coach, like, they didn't have Fireburner. It's like, that's just a team I want to avoid. Like, very egotistical. They've done it all. They doesn't seem like they really care anymore from my experiences when I competed against them and when I watched them compete against my teams that I coach, Energy. It's just more so I'd rather see, chance for upswing instead of, falling down again.
Mm-hmm.
Best thing you can get as a coach is not only a team that's impressionable and willing to receive,
yeah,
but also one that respects you. They're actually going to take what you say and actually hear you, not just in one ear out the other. It's like, okay,
yeah,
you're telling me a thing. I respect your opinion, so I'll at least try it. I'll see if it's viable for us. How is it going to help us? And rather than just being defensive about it, they receive it, they take that information and they try to do something about it, and you work on it as a collective. You're going to be way more successful that way. And when you bring in a brand new team that, may not have those results, it's not that you're lazy. It's just you're working really hard at something that may not even have that potential in the first place. And yes, for some that may be exciting to try. Case in point, you guys are talking about, getting the boot. Jahzo wants to stick with G2 because it's something that he's been passionate about, something he's been working on for a very long time. It's a part of his routine now. Why would you want to give that up? Case in point, I casted for 4 years. It was my everyday. That's what I did. It's what I've known. And I've now, even when I stream and people ask me like who I am, like if I get a host from somebody big, I don't and can't introduce myself as an RLCS caster anymore, even though that's where my brain straight goes to because I'm so conditioned to that. Having to make those adjustments and seeing what things I can fit into and what roles I can fit into is weird. It's very different to make that adjustment, even if you're still doing the same exact role. Even if you're still being a coach for a different team, new environment, different personalities you're working with and interacting with. Like it's such a different dynamic. So, yeah, I can't imagine, like, even if you're doing the exact same thing, just because Chrome coaches a certain way, Jahzo coaches the same way, doesn't mean it's going to affect the new team the same way. Like, he's going to have to make those adjustments. It's different. It's a different dynamic from top to bottom. We got a
Good
couple
thing
questions here.
Good thing we're answering Q&A for 5-10 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, these are questions that are just,
Heavy hitting.
yeah, they're good
Sure.
questions. Shouts to chat. We've got a couple left here. How nice would league play be on LAN? Dude, imagine being able to watch RLCS in person every week. Come on.
True.
Oh,
It would force the teams to take things seriously too.
yeah. Competition would get better. Everything would be heightened. Like, you want to talk about Rocket League becoming like the biggest esport? That's the first step. LAN league play. Finding a way
Imagine
to-
homesteads.
Oh God, regional bias. Like, there's so many good things about it. It's just logistically, it's tough to do with the young kids because they have to find a way to play. And if they're 15, they're missing school, and you're gonna force them to be in certain areas. It's very tough to accomplish. Like, the difference is, like, for the LCS, they can't play till they're 17, so you're talking maybe a semester or two of online schooling and tutors, as compared to guys are 15, they're probably sophomores. It's 3 years of online schooling and stuff. That's a lot. So Lawson keeps asking the same question.
What's Lawson saying? Yeah, I know he's a troll. What's he saying?
About the Olympics.
Oh, okay.
We've already answered it. It's just tagging because we didn't get to it. It's fine. Did Cloud9 finally make a roster move after the season? If contracts are not holding it back, yes. They wanted to this season. It's just they got blocked.
I don't really want to touch that. I don't want to touch talking about Cloud9 rosters. Cloud9's like such a dangerous topic, dude.
Yep.
Yeah.
Who's a
CJ's
good
away from his
pickup?
daydream.
Who's a good pick for Cloud9 if they got a new teammate?
Depends who they kick.
Well, talk it out.
I know what most people would say.
Talk it out then.
Oh, I don't want to talk about Cloud9. Oh no.
Can we
I
not
feel
talk
like
about
this is
Cloud9?
what we talk about every week in every Q&A is which Cloud9, what's going to happen with Cloud9 after the season.
I just hope they get relegated, honestly.
God, that's drastic.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Imagine though,
No.
they got close last season.
I don't want to live on that timeline. Fuck that timeline.
Yeah.
That timeline sucks.
I'm kidding, obviously.
We tickled that timeline with both you and Cloud9 at one point, and I was like, nope.
Mm-mm.
I don't know. I don't.
Mm-mm.
Oh, Spectrum.
Spectrum, crumb.
Look at Rob.
See, the C9 fans are coming at me. I just don't care.
C9Z does.
I don't listen. I don't care who they get. I don't care. Okay?
I don't care.
I don't care who they
really
let go.
don't.
It's not gonna be as good as me. Cocky, not cocky.
Cocky, not cocky.
Anyway, for all four, do any of you have any wild early predictions for roster moves next season? That's a whole.
Dude, that's tough.
That's a big conversation.
That's tough. That's big tough.
That's a big
Because first you
conversation.
gotta realize you gotta
Maybe we have a whole show for that in the off season.
Yeah.
That's a
Before
big
they get
conversation.
announced, before we even hear rumors, I want to have it I want
That's
to
just-
show after regionals
Yeah.
all the roster moves.
That's just such an open question because you don't even know who's getting relegated. You don't know who's promoting. You don't know like what.
Well,
Teams
That's a whole. That's a
Save
whole
that
other
one.
show on its
You gotta
own.
save that one. Yeah,
hold
That
on to
one
that.
question-
Maybe that'll be a special edition that we do on like a Thursday or some shit.
that'd be a good topic after the season.
Yeah.
Big up. Can't wait right after
You guys
regionals
are
to
just
talk about
asking about roster change stuff. That's a lot of what these questions are.
It's because they had such juicy matches and upsets yesterday that they're like hot off the press of like wanting to know what these teams.
That's not, I talked about it earlier though. Like people can't just be like C9's back. Well, C9's back. Like okay, it's 1 week. Let's wait. Let's see what happens. You know, same with G2 losing. It doesn't mean that they're not this best team ever. Like everyone was saying prior to this week, like on Reddit. You know, they're still. You can't hop off them straight away. Just wait.
Just wait, boys and girls. Just wait. We'll go into roster moves in depth. I remember our comeback show was all talking about roster moves. That was a great show. Just best believe we're gonna have a great show talking about roster moves after this season too.
Yeah. All right, I think we have like
So-
2 questions left. How much do you think the month-long off season, considering Olympics possibly happening or not happening, is going to affect the way the teams play moving forward?
Well, if the Olympics happen, then the off season for the majority of NA and EU teams will be like 3 months. So could be rough because teams won't be able to try out. I mean, if we're talking about roster moves, teams won't even be able to try out new roster moves.
I'm just hoping it gets canceled because it would kill my team if, you know, 'cause we don't have AXB. We have 2 players with a possibility of one getting poached for an Olympic team. So, you know, like we don't really know what that would then mean. Like we don't even know like when season 10 is happening. So
Yeah, I
for
mean,
all we know, we could have another short off season and then we get screwed as a team practice because we can't scrim because so and so is on the Olympics, whatever, or so and so is on another Olympic.
Do you
I
think?
personally just don't want it to
yes,
happen.
I think.
Do you think if the Olympics gets cancelled, there's a chance that they start season 10 earlier if the coronavirus is
Online?
contained, obviously? But yeah, like online league.
Yeah. Because then they might be able
Or
to
do you
finish
think there's like a
season.
plan for BTS in August again?
I doubt they're having any plans for lands at this point with coronavirus. So I definitely think they're maybe looking at pushing the season forward and looking at winter lands.
I don't
Or
know.
looking at
Knowing
pretending
Psionics,
winter
I don't
lands.
feel like they'll change their schedule. I think they'll just have online tournaments or something along the lines, like a Renegade Cup or like a Brisk Summer Series. I feel like they'll do that if anything. I don't think they'll push up their schedule.
All right, last one. This was from Lethamir. What do you think is going to happen when it comes to regional titles and how that applies? So I got to find the exact wording of it, but he wants to know if I remember like TLDR. It's too far up in the chat. I can't find it. But
I think we briefly talked about that.
yeah, regional titles. So like obviously we talked about regionals and how that's the endpoint and the motivation and stuff behind it. Do you think they should just say you get a regional title? They don't do a season 9 world championship and they just make season 9 world championship next season, or should they just skip 9 and go straight to 10? Like, how do you think they should handle that for like the titles and the accolades with it?
What they should do is change worlds to be for the entire year so they don't have to put any names up for a season 9 flag. They'll just change it to 2020 world champions.
Mm.
Then when they give out titles for in-game,
Should it be
They do
regional champ
contenders.
and regional finalist titles?
yes, it should be the same things as worlds, just with regionals. So if you make top 6, you get an elite. If you don't make top 6, you get contender. If you make the regional finals, you get finalists, like you just said, and then if you win, regional champs. So basically the same tiers, just broken down.
I think that's
Yeah, I
fair.
think in a perfect world, like what Jahzo said, I'd double split, I guess, or spring split, summer split, whatever.
They take advantage
And they're not-
hard.
Yeah, but I highly doubt they'd do that. If what I'd want though is to have like a closed off LAN down the line. Doesn't have to be a Worlds, but just have the teams that would have gone to Worlds play in it, you know,
Little
and just
MSI.
completely scrap season 9 altogether. And I obviously want them to rebrand the whole like Worlds name and just get rid of the whole season 20, season 5, season whatever Worlds.
Mm.
Switch it
like-
to like Dota, the International
The
7,
international, yeah, exactly.
or the International.
Yeah, but all the
2019.
cool names are taken. The international, Worlds is League of Legends. Like,
Or yeah, Worlds League of
What-
Legends. I mean, it doesn't really matter.
can-
It's
they
all the
can-
same thing.
Have a creative team think of a name, think of branding, right?
the CJ show with Chrome Jahzo.
You just, I don't know, just call it the Rocket League something, and it's just its own thing.
The Rocket League Land.
The Rocketeers. There you
Welcome to the
Or
Rocketeer.
just call it the Rocket League Cup or something.
Ooh, I like that.
Rock Eater.
RL Cup. Welcome to the RL Cup World Finals.
go. Welcome to the Jahzo Championships.
Welcome to the Jazzos. where everyone takes a poo.
No, you know what the Jahzo sounds like? Jahzo sounds like an award ceremony for
It
Rocket League.
does.
Well, like the
The
streamies,
Jahzos,
the Jahzos.
The Emmys, the Oscars.
That would be great. Oh, that would be cool.
Welcome to the job.
Giving out awards for like
They're
like
just-
most
they're just
whiffers,
they're
like
little
best
tiny
whiff.
the little poop emojis like trophies.
Oh, it'd be great. It'd be like meme awards. It'd be like most whiffs, worst defense. You know?
Jahzo, what are you waiting for?
You want
Make
the
that.
Rocket League awards named after yourself. I love that. That's pure C.
Pure
Oh,
C. That'd be
God.
great.
All right.
Traffic.
MVP. Last question. MVPs. Who are your too soon prediction for MVP this season? NAU.
Shock.
Astral.
Shock Astral.
I still have JNAPS in there. I feel like JNAPS played pretty well against Ghost. It's not gonna be JNAPS or Shock.
Wait, G-Naps? If
Yeah.
Rizzo pops off for the next 3 series and we go 8-1, then I give it to Rizzo. Because Rizzo's been a big help, but I still have Shock over. If Sonics get like top 3, Shock like gets it.
I say Shock.
Mm.
Shock's been super impactful
I think
I've
it's
seen
Shock.
players.
in every way they play.
I've seen players carry like worse teams and get MVP, like Niels Cook and stuff.
Oh
Yeah.
God,
Like
don't even get me
6,
started
7.
on that shit.
So if Shock's like carrying that hard and they're like top 3, top 4, even if they just top 4, he's got it. Honestly, it's locked.
Yeah. Shock. Astral for EU.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I'd agree with that.
Or Fairy Peak, if Jake shits the bed next couple weeks. But I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, that's fair. Good. You guys
Good
happy with
shit.
that?
I'm happy with
Yeah.
that.
Final thoughts. Final thoughts as we continue to keep going too long.
Lack of World sucks. We're going to keep pushing through.
Yeah.
Enjoy the rest of the season.
Yeah, we're all in limbo. And no one really knows what the hell's going on. So
Yeah, as fans of Rocket League, just enjoy Rocket League you get because apparently you're not going to get much of it for the next 4 months.
I will do my best to provide as many brawls as I can during this off season.
bro, when you put it like that, Jahzo, I just get even more sad now.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
dude.
what
Yeah.
the hell?
I don't know.
Like,
Last but not
enjoy
least,
enjoy the next 3 weeks. That's all I gotta say.
last but not least, massive shouts to you guys in chat, everybody who came and hung out. Hit the follow button as well. We've got a couple Twitch primes dropping. MurphDog94 also gifted subs to the channel earlier on, so we appreciate the continued support, whether it be just as a viewer, someone in chat, lurking or otherwise, as well as monetarily. You guys are the true MVPs and part of the reason why we do this. I mean, we'd probably do it either way, but it makes it nice that people actually want to come and listen to us idiots talk for roughly 3 hours every Tuesday. So with that said, we're going to close it out. I'm Lawler, the host, along with Chrome, Jahzo, and CJ. This has been the 8th episode of 2020. We appreciate you guys being here. If you guys haven't already, hit up the socials, !point social and chat, CJ Show on all major platforms, even on Spotify if you want to listen to the audio-only version. Jahzo is going to have to do some fancy magic work to get this VOD up for YouTube. So I'm going to give him like an extra couple days to have that happen so he's not feeling too pressured. But we're out of here. Twitch.tv/CJ Show. Follow it, turn on notifications, see when we go live. 10:30 p.m. Eastern if CJ's on time every Tuesday. We'll see you guys next time.
Let's go, baby.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace.